Padres legend Ryan Klesko will join us coming up at 5 p.m. as we get you ready, Jim. It's finally here. I mean, we've seen what has happened here in this division. Two teams that have gone in opposite directions. Padres have won 14 of their last 17. Dodgers 12 and 22 in their last 34. How about this? More recently, Padres have won 5 straight. Dodgers have lost 4 straight. But now it's back on field, this heated rivalry, arguably the best in baseball, back underway tonight at 7:10. And you and I and everyone listening cannot wait until tonight and this weekend.
Yeah, this weekend, especially on like social media, probably on the field, probably in the stands, it's going to be next level, man. It's going to be next level. And it's not just this weekend. It's also next weekend here at Petco Park. But yeah, it's go time. The sprint to the end of the season is upon us. Padres have a 1-game lead in the National League West over the Dodgers. Dodgers are reeling. Padres are playing great baseball. And I'm excited. I know everyone else is excited. And I hope that this weekend are as exciting of games as the last time these two teams met, because that was peak baseball drama.
And that's why I kind of say, like, this is the most heated rivalry in the sport. It's not the most historic. It doesn't go back 100 years. But what it is right now is all anyone cares about. I don't care about 1972. And nobody by and large listening right now does. You know, this isn't about the 1888 Black Sox. I mean, this is about today. This is about 2025. We have teams that just despise each other. I mean, look at what happened when the bench is cleared a couple of months ago, and you've got Mike Shildt and Dave Roberts, and they're talking about meeting outside. And you got Fernando Tatis Jr. getting hit and Shohei Ohtani getting hit in the same game. I mean, you have things happening in that series that aren't happening around baseball. And now the interesting thing, and I'm with you, I think there could be extracurriculars. I think there could be drama. What I care about now is the Padres continuing to play well. Like, if there's no drama, but they take 2 out of 3, I'm signing up for it. Now, I think there's going to be drama because that's just how it works with this. But what I hope we say when this series ends or when these 10 games end is the Padres are still playing well. Like, I don't want anything to change. The Padres are playing well. The Dodgers are playing poorly. Will the Padres still be playing well when we get to the end of next weekend after these two teams have played 6 games in 10 days? That's the question for me.
Yeah, it's you know, how is this team going to keep hopefully riding that momentum of a 14-3 stretch?
Right. It's hard to do.
It is hard to do. And after an off day, you know, hopefully you don't lose that momentum going into this series. And then obviously next week where they play the Giants for 4 and then they play the Dodgers for 3 here at home. The Michael King injury, it's a bummer because he was supposed to start tonight. And, you know, you got your 3 top guys going this weekend. They got their 3 top guys going this weekend. Both teams know just how important this series and these next 2 series are. Because one could argue that if the Padres in the next 6 games go 4-2 against the Dodgers or vice versa, that team has the clear leg up in the division. And even more so, you could say that for the Padres because they already have a 1-game lead in the division. So if they went 4-2 here, they got a 3-game lead on the Dodgers. That's right.
If they went 4-2, they would have a 3-game lead on the Dodgers.
Exactly. And if it went vice versa, Dodgers would have a 2-game lead.
And to your point, you knock 10 games off the schedule at that point. Yeah, so you go from 41 remaining games to 10 games for now 31. If you took a 3-game lead with 31 games to play, you're 100% right. You'd feel good about the Padres. And I do wonder this because I've watched the national commentary today. I've read the local and national articles. Is it overstated to say, like what they wrote today in the UT, that the roles have reversed here? That it's now Hunter hunted, but in a different way because the Padres have taken a 1-game lead in the division because the Padres have played better than the Dodgers. Or I watched MLB Network today, and they said that it's a changing of the guard. Right? It's always so. That's what, again, the commentary coming out of it. I'm like, well, it's only a game here. You just made a great point. One bad series from one of these two teams, and the thing flips or gets stretched out further. So, like, is it fair to say we've seen a changing of the guard heading into the series, or that the roles have been reversed? For me, no. It's the same thing. You're still trying to track down the Dodgers, even though you lead them. Why? You lost last October. You lost this June. You're 2-5 against them. They won the World Series. So I don't think roles have reversed until we can get through 2025 and be able to say things have reversed. But it's hard to say that now because the Padres have a 1-game division lead.
There's no role reversal yet. because this thing is not decided yet. The season does not end on August 15th. It ends at the end of September. So this thing is completely up for grabs. The only thing that's changed is the gap between the Dodgers and the Padres. And right now it's flipped.
Yep.
That's the only thing that's changed. But there's no changing of the guard. You can't say that right now, because the Dodgers could easily go out in these next 2 series and take 4 of 6 from you. And then you're 2 back. And then what are you going to say?
1 back.
Or 1 back. Then what are you going to say?
Right.
Right? So let the games play out first before there's any like declaration of changing of the guards. There's none of that right now. This is just a straight up mano-a-mano, 2 really good teams duking it out for the division. One team that's won the division, every year it seems like for the last decade plus. And you got another team who hasn't won a division title since 2006.
20 years.
And it makes it even more heightened because these 2 teams hate each other. The fan bases absolutely despise each other. And you got one of these teams that is the defending World Series champion. So like everything there, put that all in a giant bowl and mix it up, equals right now the best rivalry in baseball.
We've done about 4 shows since the Padres last played, because let me explain. We did Wednesday. We talked about this. We did Wednesday night wrap-up show. We did Thursday. We're doing Friday, right? So, we've talked about this a lot in 2 or 3 days. I think one thing that I continue to say, and maybe it's, maybe it's like a soft way to look at things, but from the Padres perspective, aren't you concerned that it takes the Padres to wake the Dodgers up? From a Padres perspective, you're taking on a team that cannot play worse in LA, right? They've lost 4 straight. They're 12-21 since July 3rd. I think it's the same record as the Colorado Rockies. But at the end of the day, they're 38-24 at home. They're 5-2 against the Padres. They had the upper hand last October, as we all know. They still have the horses in terms of both starting pitching and their lineup. Truthfully, they do have some horses in there. My concern would be that the Dodgers have sleptwalked through their season until now. Like, that's in the back of my mind, that things are going too well. Now we get the Michael King news. And then secondarily, like, you're going to Dodger Stadium to take on a team that has been very good at home and has played the Padres well in recent history. So we'll see. I'm hopeful the Padres overcome it all with the way they're playing, the way they've played since the trade deadline, the moves that AJ Preller made, the confidence of this group. Mike Shildt is their manager in the second half. I hope they overcome it all, but there's a part of me, Jim, it's like that PTSD that's in the back of my mind. Like, are we just setting ourselves up right now for the Dodgers to go on their run that they haven't yet gone on to this point in the year?
No, because the Padres are also a really good team. So if you're thinking that by playing the Padres is going to change everything from the Dodgers perspective, well, I don't think that. I do think there is potential shenanigans from the Dodgers this weekend to try to jumpstart them, but just looking across the other side of the field, seeing that the Padres are in the other dugout. They know the Padres are good and they're going to have to play their best. But if they do play their best, who says that the Padres still don't beat them?
Right, because of how good the Padres are right now.
Exactly. Yeah. So even if the Dodgers play well, and they play better this weekend, Padres could still beat them and win a series in LA because the Padres are playing really good baseball. And oh, by the way, they're playing good baseball out of the picture. Just look at their rosters. They match up with the Dodgers easily.
They do. They absolutely do.
They have a damn good team. So look, this weekend it's going to be chippy. I hope it's doesn't pour onto the field and you see Dave Roberts acting like a clown again. And I hope they just play straight up. And if they play straight up, I'll take my chances with the Padres because they're a damn good baseball team.
Yeah, I completely agree. And like even this Michael King thing, we talked a lot about this yesterday. Oh my gosh, Michael King, what does it mean? I think in the short term, it doesn't mean as much as maybe some have made it out to be. They're 14-3 in their last 17 games. We discussed this yesterday. He threw 2 of those innings and they weren't good. And they're still 14-3. And also what I would say in the extreme short term is you can unleash your bullpen any way you want tonight. There's no question about it. That is at your discretion, at the mercy of Mike Shildt and Ruben Niebla. So Randy Vasquez doesn't have to be perfect when he starts this game. He doesn't have to go 6 innings. He doesn't have to go 5 innings. Truthfully, he doesn't maybe have to go 4 innings in a game like this. You got everything available to you. You've played well. You haven't overly worked your bullpen during this stretch. You didn't play yesterday. And now if you want to use your 5 horsemen or your 5 guys, whatever you want to call it, you can use them at your discretion in a game like right now. So I think in the short term, yeah, King being out is a gut punch. Long term, if it's something of significance, long term. But I think tonight, Jim, I don't think it actually applies to the degree that some people maybe make it out to be. Because you're coming off an off day, you got this bullpen, and Randy Vasquez has never been a 6 or 7 inning guy, and he won't be tonight.
Yeah, I view the King injury as a long-term thing instead of like a right now thing.
Right.
Because in a right now, they still have pieces to get the job done to win baseball games. It's not like they had 6 players that are all contributing in the starting lineup or in the bullpen that all went down with injury.
That'd be bad.
That'd be awful. It still sucks, and it's a bummer that Michael King, you won't see him tonight on the mound, and he's out for the next couple weeks potentially.
Minimum.
Yeah, it's a bummer, but this team still has won a bunch of baseball games without him, and they can still play good baseball without him. So that doesn't change my mindset of going into this series, how it's already going to be difficult. It's just a bummer you're not going to see him, but they still can win, and they have the roster to do it still. And yeah, I mean, Michael King's pitched 2 innings since May 18th. Look where they're at. They're in first place, up by a game on the Dodgers. So if you look at that from that perspective, it makes you not feel as bad as you might have initially felt yesterday when you saw the news drop at like 3 p.m. that Michael King was going on the 15-day IL.
Who is the favorite in this division right now? If the Padres now a game better than the Dodgers, is it San Diego or is it still LA? Mike Ferrin, MLB Network Radio, will join us coming up at 2:30. We will dive into the series, what's on the line over the course of this weekend and next at Petco Park. Kyle Glazer, great resource for Padres fans. He will join us coming up at 4 p.m. Ryan Klesko, the ex-Padre, the Padre great. He will join us coming up at 5 p.m. We have wall-to-wall coverage. We're getting you ready for Padres and Dodgers. Game 1 of a 3-game series, game 1 of 6 games between these two sides over the next 10 days as we continue here. Just underway, Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760 and live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760, Mike Ferrin, MLB Network Radio. He was with us, I think, maybe a day or two before the trade deadline. They mentioned specifically Ramon Laureano and Ryan O'Hearn would be good fits for the Padres. He was right, and he will join us coming up at 2:30. Ryan Klesko at 5, Kyle Glazer at 4 p.m. If you go to Fangraphs, which you've been doing recently a little bit. I've seen you.
I have, yes.
I've seen you over there.
I'm interested now, just to see what it says.
Padres and Dodgers both have a 98+% chance of making the postseason. But what is still maybe somewhat confusing, including for myself, is how is it that the Dodgers are such prohibitive favorites in the division and to win a World Series over the Padres, now that the Padres, for example, have a better overall record than the Dodgers? We know this isn't over, but for example, today, Fangraphs gives the Dodgers a 17.7% chance of winning the World Series, nearly 3 times higher than the Padres at 7.5%. They also give the Dodgers a 64% chance of winning the division, and the Padres only a 36% chance. What do you make of that, I guess is the question.
What I would make of that is Fangraphs is using the fact that the Dodgers have won this division so many times over the recent decade, and they're the World Series defending champions, and they have the best player in the sport, arguably, in Shohei. That's where I would go with this. I'd bet you if the Padres were the team that have won the division since, every year since 2010 almost.
Yeah.
And they were the defending World Series champions,
it would say the same thing.
I think the numbers would be flipped.
Does it mean anything, though? Because I would argue no. It tells you something, but I don't think it tells you all things. And what I mean by that is this changes by the day.
Oh, yeah.
The Padres win tonight, their chances go up. The Dodgers' chances go down, and so on and so forth. I'm more trusting of the team I'm watching with my eyes than any of the analytics are suggesting right now across baseball. We talked about it a week ago. The Padres were not among the 10 teams with the shortest odds to win the World Series 1 week ago.
I know.
That has since changed. They've won 5 consecutive games. They probably have the 6th or 8th shortest odds in the sport right now to win the World Series. So I think you have to be careful not to get overly consumed by what some of the numbers suggest. I'm just trusting what we're watching. And what we're watching right now is one of the most complete teams in the sport based on how they're playing.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun watch.
Yeah, it is.
For sure.
I agree.
I just want to see if they can take what they have been doing and carry that into these next 2 series against the Dodgers, because the Dodgers have played you really well this year.
Right.
But, and it's a big but.
Mixer mix a lot?
Yeah, like big butts. The Padres team that faced this Dodgers team back in June is completely different.
Completely.
They are different. Their bullpen's different. Their lineup is different. Their bench is different. You're not seeing Trenton Brooks and Tyler Wade out there. You're seeing Ryan O'Hearn. You're seeing Ramon Laureano. You're seeing Freddie Fermin, right?
Yeah.
You're going to have Mason Miller, guy throws 104 come out of your bullpen, all-star closer, along with your other pieces in the bullpen. So now, unfortunately, Michael King won't be pitching in this series, but it is a completely different team than the last time the Padres and Dodgers matched up a couple months ago.
Yeah, that's a really good point. It's completely different. It really is. And by the way, what I just said about the odds, I'm like, well, why is it that the Dodgers are favored over the Padres? I mean, you look at a night like tonight. Now, I know King's been scratched. Dodgers are a heavy favorite tonight. Like, does it surprise you that they are a minus 180 tonight? I get it. You don't have Michael King. But it's not like Clayton Kershaw. He's been good. He's been good, and he's been good throughout his regular seasons, even later in his career. But he hasn't been elite like back in the day. So it's Kershaw at home who's been good against the 4-inning Randy Vasquez. And you got the Dodgers as a minus 180 favorite. They've lost 4 consecutive games. The Padres have won 5 straight.
But I'd also look at what's Kershaw's career numbers against the Padres.
Yeah, but again, it goes back to kind of some of this. Does it apply? Does what Kershaw did in 2010 against the Padres apply?
Well, not 2010, but more recently, I think it does.
Maybe more recently.
And I just think that Kershaw has faced the Padres so much in his career.
A million times.
I think it plays a little role.
Maybe. Yeah, you're probably right.
But I hope that I'm wrong. I hope that tonight Clayton Kershaw doesn't make it out of the third inning.
We've looked it up before. His career numbers against the Padres are absurd. That's how I remember them.
They're stupid.
They've been ridiculous, and I can find them. But yeah, you're right. I mean, it's all the factors. Kershaw at home in his career has been unbelievable. The Padres historically against Kershaw haven't been good. The Dodgers at home have been good. I just hope that we see the exact same Padres team. I hope nothing changes, that the stage isn't too big. I don't think it is. I just hope we see that exact same team. I'm looking right now. And Kershaw in his career against the San Diego Padres has been good. In fact, how about this, Jim? He's thrown 300 career innings against the Padres. Guess his career record in ERA.
Record, I have no idea what his record is.
That's fine.
Probably I'll go 31 and 12.
Not far off, 23 and 11.
Okay. I'll say he's sub 3 ERA for sure.
How about 2.19?
Okay, there you go.
So to your point, with a sub 1 career whip in 300 innings against the San Diego Padres, he has a sub 1 walks and hits over innings.
And I'm also curious to see what the lineup tonight will look like for the Padres because it's a lefty. So is Jose Iglesias in the lineup? Or are they going to just say, screw it, we're putting our best players out there regardless of who's on the mound? Is Ryan O'Hearn going to be out there against the lefty?
Right. Exactly.
So if that's the case and they don't have Jose Iglesias out there, does that change things? I don't know. We'll see.
Well, here's the other thing. Has Kershaw been a guy so far this year that has worked deep into games, for example? Now his last 2 starts he's gone 6 innings. Each of his last 2 starts, they were both really good. 6 innings, no runs at Tampa. 6 innings, 1 run against Toronto. The 2 starts before that, he didn't make it out of the 5th inning against the Red Sox and the Brewers. So he's been up and down. That's a really interesting point. Are you putting your best lineup out there? Are you hoping to get to Kershaw? And like you just said, I hope he doesn't make it through the 3rd inning. Can you get him out of the game in a 4th or 5th inning? Or is it going to be one of those vintage nights for Clayton Kershaw where he's going 6+ innings? I mean, there's so much. And we're going to hear from Mike Shildt, by the way, this afternoon, because what about all this Michael King talk is Shildt going to tell us this knee injury is nothing and it's 2 weeks? Or is he going to tell us, oh, by the way, they're going to work on his knee. You're not going to see him. I mean, there's so much that we really don't know heading into this series.
I know you probably won't agree with me, but I think Randy Vasquez is going to start tonight. I'm pretty sure of that.
Yeah.
Randy Vasquez, I don't think it's been officially announced. But
I think he's going to start.
When the lineup comes out tonight, Randy Vasquez will be the starter.
I agree.
If they have the lead after 4 or even after 3, if Randy Vasquez makes it through the first time in the lineup unscathed, okay, and you get in the 4th inning, say you have a lead, dude, I'm not kidding. I think tonight you got to make a statement. I think tonight, if you have the lead, 3rd, 4th inning, I think you deploy your bullpen because you're coming off an off day and you're coming off a game in 11-1 that you just didn't use anybody. So it's 2.5 days of rest for your bullpen. I think tonight you go out and make a statement. If you have a lead early, I think you could deploy all 5 of your arms in the bullpen. You go out tonight, you pick up a win in game 1, you make a statement.
Yeah, not only do I agree, it's basically the point I was making. I mean, I think we've been talking about it 100%. Now it depends on the circumstance. Is it 4-0 or is it 4-3? I think if it's 4-0 in the 4th inning, you're not going to your bullpen to start the inning. If it's 4-3 there's no world. I'll place any wager with you right now.
No, I know
that after 3 innings, if it's 4-0, Randy Vasquez doesn't start the 4th inning. But if there's traffic, sure. But there's a big difference for me. If it doesn't
start the 4th inning,
he will start the 4th inning with a 4-0 lead.
Yes, he'll start the 4th inning.
The 5th inning with a 4-0 lead.
But I think if they have a 4-0 lead and Randy Vasquez goes out there in the 4th inning, I think any sign of trouble, you go to your bullpen. I think tonight you treat it as a playoff game.
I think they will.
I think that will be what they do tonight. I hope that's what they do tonight because these next 6 games against the Dodgers, I think they're very important.
They're critical. I'm with you. They will treat it like it's a playoff game, and we will see a good portion of that bullpen tonight, you would think, for the Padres. Mike Ferrin, MLB Network Radio. We're getting his thoughts on the other side. Don't go anywhere. Jon and Jim.
All right, this update is brought to you by CalFire. Padres Dodgers tonight up in LA. Game 1 of a 3-game series. Padres are going into this series with a 1-game lead in the National League West. Clayton Kershaw on the mound for the Dodgers. Michael King was supposed to be on the mound tonight, but he was placed on the 15-day IL yesterday with knee inflammation. Randy Vasquez likely the starter for tonight as he's been recalled to the active roster. Help prevent wildfire. Mow before 10 a.m. Keep vehicle chains from dragging on the ground and never park on dry grass. Remember, one less spark means one less wildfire. Learn more at readyforwildfire.org.
All right, let's get Mike Ferrin in here. Jon Jim, San Diego Sports 760. Great resource for Padres fans, for baseball fans. Mike Ferrin, MLB Network Radio, back with us right now in San Diego. And Mike, as you can imagine, obviously a massive weekend here locally for San Diego sports. You can imagine, Padres and Dodgers. So two teams trending in different directions.
Food festival, actually.
Oh, yeah, huge festival.
Yeah.
Huge.
Pregame All-American Classic Sunday at Petco. I'll be there for that.
Well, we're talking to Ryan Klesko about that at 5 p.m. He's managing.
Oh, nice. Yeah, he's managing it. Yeah.
And we had Trevor Hoffman on earlier this week. He's also managing. Let's talk about the Padres and the Dodgers. All right. Two teams going in different directions, right? Padres have won 5 straight. Dodgers have lost 4 straight. Padres have been great recently. Dodgers haven't. How do you see this playing out from now through the rest of the regular season in this division?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like, listen, I think this is super exciting. I think it's really fun that we have a race. I think it's fun that these two teams will meet the next 2 weekends. You know, the atmosphere at Dodger Stadium is going to be great this weekend. I think obviously the atmosphere at Petco next weekend is going to be insane. It's how do I think it's going to play out? I mean, I think the Padres are a good team, and I kind of been saying that to you guys all year, right, going into the offseason. So I don't know that I could have predicted that they would have erased a 9-game deficit and have a lead going into this series. But I certainly think that they'll play well from here down the stretch. And I think it's a race between those two teams. I don't think the Dodgers are going to give anything away. I think there were some signs offensively for them that were real positives in the Blue Jays series. They scored runs in the Angels series. They just didn't pitch all that well. The question is whether or not their starters are going to be okay and whether or not they get some bullpen help here. And I think, you know, listen, I think the rotation is a little bit more of a question for the Padres right now with King out. I mean, not that it was, you know, he was perfect in his first start back, but I think it's going to be really interesting to watch how this plays out over the last 40 games, because I think the Padres have a real chance to win the division.
We had you on before the trade deadline. Did you expect Preller to do that at the trade deadline? And what do you make of all the moves that he made to, bolster this team's roster?
Well, I mean, did I expect AJ to make moves? I think we talked about it, and I was like, yeah, I mean, I think he's going to do something. He's AJ, right? I don't think I saw Mason Miller coming. I'm not sure that anybody did because he wasn't really available. I mean, they made him available because they traded Leo DeVries. To me, the two moves that were the biggest for him, and this is not to take anything away from Miller, who is immensely talented, were the trade with Baltimore and the trade with Kansas City. I mean, to get two basically everyday players in Laureano and O'Hearn, and a guy in O'Hearn in particular who knows the difference between a ball and a strike. I think we talked about that a couple months ago, maybe a month ago or so. But one of the issues this Padres team had was that they were a little more swing happy. There's a little more chase than a year ago. Mike Shildt talked about that. Like Ryan O'Hearn's a great fit for that. And then I think Freddie Fermin is one of the more underappreciated players in baseball. He was catching a lot in Kansas City, but he was behind Sal Perez, who might end up in the Hall of Fame. And, Salvi was playing some first base and DHing, and a fair amount, actually. I thought the Fermin pickup was huge. So they remade, a third of their lineup in those pickups. It moved Gavin Sheets to a more appropriate role for him facing righties. It gave them better depth, and then add in, Miller and the pitching depth with Sears and Cortez. I thought it was a great deadline. I thought he did everything that he possibly could have to give this chance a team to win, not just from now to the end of the season, but to be deep enough to handle short series in October.
Mike Ferrin, MLB Network Radio, with us right now on Jon and Jim. Speaking of October, because again, if you forecast ahead, I mean, you look at the percentage chances here. I mean, there's a very high likelihood the Padres are going to be in the postseason. It's more about their seeding. But you talked about Michael King And last year, the Padres in October lost Joe Musgrove. I know it's only August. We might see King in 2 weeks. Maybe we won't. We shall see. But what is the impact from your perspective if they don't have a fully healthy Michael King and they're relying on the Pavettas and the Ceases and the Darvishes? And Pavetta's been terrific, but there's been some question marks with both Cease and Darvish, obviously, this year.
Yeah, well, Cease has been better of late, and I think the peripherals have been stronger than the results, all year. And Darvish, since lowering the arm slot, his last 3 starts have been pretty good overall. So I'm a little less concerned overall as long as they can keep that group healthy. If they get King back, great. But this was one of the reasons why I felt like it was so important for them to make the Miller move in the end. They've got 4 legitimate relievers, 4 guys that have been to all-star games that can cover, 5 innings in a playoff series. And that doesn't even count, like, David Morgan has thrown the hell out of the ball, right? Like, that's their 5th or 6th best reliever. And, like, that guy would be in an A-side bullpen on about half the teams in baseball. So, like the Dodgers showed us last year, you don't need to have dominant starting pitching to win. And I think that's one of the things that has been a tough adjustment for those of us who have followed baseball for years and had hammered home the importance of starting pitching in the postseason, is that we have been slow to adjust with the way the game is adjusted. And the game is adjusted to swing and miss pitching wins in October, and lineups that can grind out at bats, that don't chase and that can hit the ball out of the ballpark are the ones that are going to win. And I think that the chase is still a little bit of a concern for me with the Padres, but I think their lineup is certainly deeper, and they now have a number of swing and miss pitchers. They don't need to count on somebody going, 5, 6, 7 innings in order to win postseason games. There are a lot of different ways that you can win a postseason baseball game. The Dodgers were a great example of that. And I think the Padres, so long as they stay healthy, are lined up with a deeper and better bunch than what the world champions had a year ago on the mound.
On the Dodgers side of things, we've been talking about potentially some shenanigans this weekend to maybe get this team jump started because they're kind of in a rut, and maybe it's the best time this weekend to try to get this thing going for them is to play one of their rivals. What do you expect this weekend? Any fireworks like we saw last time when these two teams played in June?
I mean, if there are, it's not going to be premeditated. Like Billy Martin doesn't exist anymore, right?
Right.
So, like, that stuff's not going to happen going into it. If there are, it's going to be from the intensity of the way the series is played. And generally, I feel like that stuff will happen if, I do think that some of it, listen, the Padres, I think, had a beef. I think both sides were upset with each other, obviously, but Tatis has been hit a lot. But, like, if one team is winning 5 out of 6 and somebody gets hit, the losing tends to make feelings hurt a little bit more, right? So I don't expect any shenanigans, at least as it's pre-planned. I don't think, judging from the Dodgers comments, they still think the Padres are a cute little team, right? Like, Aaron Kershaw was like, he's like, I don't really think about them, which is what you would expect the favorite to do, right? Like, they're the Dodgers. Like, they don't really have a rival. They're in the playoffs every year. They're used to winning divisions by 10 games. And they also know, if we don't win the division, we at least get in the postseason. We've got a chance to win. So I don't think that there's going to be anything to it. I think it's far more personal from the San Diego side and from Padres fan side than it is from the Dodgers.
Mike, curious to get your thoughts on the job that Mike Shildt has done since getting here, and then specifically all the second half successes he's had in his career with St. Louis and with San Diego. But you think about where the Padres were as a franchise coming off 2023, all that disappointment, Bob Melvin out, Juan Soto gone, and the job Mike Shildt has done. What do you make of it?
I'm not surprised. I think Mike is a really good tactician. I think he is intense and tough, and I think sometimes that will rub some people the wrong way. But I also think he cares, I love Mike. I think he's a great baseball guy. He's a guy that has earned it. He never played professionally. He was a high school teacher who became like a bird dog scout. Or became an area scout. He's earned everything that he's gotten, right? And he works really hard. And I think from that standpoint, and the fact that he just eats, sleeps, and breathes baseball, he's a tremendous match with AJ Preller. And I think because he hammers home a lot of those same points about like, we need to execute at a high level where he doesn't let things go unturned. Nothing festers. It's like, hey, we got to do this today. We have to do this today. And that appropriate pressure that he puts on his guys is a reason why his teams have been so good in the second half. I made sure this got with you guys last time, but his teams win at a winning percentage in the second half after the All-Star break that would be the equivalent of a 103 win season. And that's remarkable to me. I mean, you think about that. That means that they're essentially winning 2/3 of their games historically after the All-Star break. They're really good. And it's because of the attention to detail, because of the way he's able to teach, way his coaches, more importantly, are able to teach, and the way that guys are willing to buy in to get better, to know that these little things that the Padres didn't excel at for a long time, in terms of taking the extra base, making good base running decisions, making the routine play, those things that scouts noticed last year. They're not perfect this year either, but they're so much better than they were 2 years ago in that. And I think that's where Mike Shildt's impact is felt.
We were just talking about this, Mike. Tonight, coming off an off day, their bullpen's fully rested from the Padres side. Randy Vasquez, I think, likely is going to be the starter tonight. He's been more of a 4-inning pitcher this year. We were making the argument, I think they should treat this game tonight like almost like a must-win to make a statement. Do you agree with that from a Padres sense?
I think it's really hard to make statements with 40 games to go.
Okay.
Like I just think, from as much as it feels super important, right, on the road, Dodgers to feel like they're on the ropes, Padres are playing well, all of that, there is so much time left in the baseball season. We have a quarter of the games left. I don't know that it necessarily makes a statement. Like winning 5 out of 6 would make a statement for the Padres, because then they'd clinch the season series. But that's what they have to do to clinch the season series, right? So I think more than anything, I would look at it like this. You're going to do everything you can to win the game that's in front of you, and then worry about tomorrow. And that's the way that I think that they will approach these games. But I don't know that that's all that dissimilar from the way that they approach the games anyway. You're going to use the guys who are available to you tonight to try and win a game if you have a chance to, and then you reshuffle the deck tomorrow and see who's available.
You're so level-headed.
Yeah, but it's good perspective.
I know, right? It's really annoying.
And it's funny, you just reminded me that if the Padres don't win 5 of 6, that they will not have a tiebreaker, which is another interesting point in this, because this could very well come down to the final weekend of the regular season, potentially.
I mean, look at it. Listen, the reality is, the way that the National League is shaping up right now, these two teams could be in the wild card round really easily, regardless of who wins the division. The Brewers have a huge lead right now. What is it, 6 games for the best record?
Yeah.
Right. That's healthy. And the Phillies, record is pretty good too. And that's a good team. So I think that's an added dynamic to it, is that there's a chance that, let's say the Padres win the division, that they're hosting, the Mets or the Reds or whoever, and that the Dodgers are, as of right now, would have to go to Wrigley.
Yeah. I mean, there's even a world it's very
serious. And I know they're playing lousy, but that offense is going to click at some point again. They were not as good as they were for the first 2 months of the season. They're also not as bad as they've been for the last month. And so, this is being in those 3-game series is scary as hell, and the Dodgers haven't had to deal with that.
That's a great point. And there's even a world, I think it's unlikely, where the Padres and Dodgers meet in a wild card round. It's unlikely they're the 3 and the 6, but it is at least possible as we sit here today. Mike, love the perspective. Enjoy San Diego this weekend. We're going to be catching up, like I said, with Ryan Klesko, who's going to be managing in that All-American Classic at Petco Park Sunday at 5 p.m. But appreciate you doing it as always. We'll do it again soon, all right?
Yeah, guys. And if you get a chance to come out to that, I'm telling you, this 2026 prep class is loaded. And the top 2 position players in it, Grady Emerson and Jacob Lombard, who's George Lombard's son, the Tigers coach, are absolute studs. That game is free. Come to Petco on Sunday night, and you're going to see some of the top draft players for 26. It's going to be really good.
Love that. Sunday 5, info at pgallamerican.com. Appreciate it, Mike. We'll do it again soon, all right?
Thanks, Mike.
Yep, take care.
All right, let's react to that on the other side here until 6 p.m. Getting you ready for Padres and Dodgers on Jon and Jim. All right, we all remember that one teacher made a difference, who believed in us, challenged us, or just made learning fun. Now's your chance to say thank you to Big Way with iHeartRadio's Thank a Teacher, powered by Donors Choose. Nominate an outstanding public school teacher who's gone above and beyond for their students to win $5,000 to stock their classroom with whatever they need. Today's teacher of the day, Colleen Perez, who teaches at San Diego Virtual School. People told us Colleen is always there for her students. She makes herself available for them at all times. She even tries to help her high schoolers get jobs. Congrats, Colleen. You're in the running to win $5,000 for your classroom. Nominate your favorite teacher at iHeartRadio.com/teachers. Congrats, Colleen.
Congrats, Colleen.
Remember when you asked Mike Ferrin, like, hey, do you have to treat this like a playoff game? He's like, no. He's like, there's 100 million games left, Jim. Calm down.
Yeah, well, he's right.
But locally, I'm with you. We're in it. We're on the ground.
Yeah,
we're local.
I am like not level-headed in this situation.
We're not seeing it nationally.
I'm not looking at this in any other light than win tonight
and like knock everyone out.
Yeah,
and the benches. And you're like, hey, are we going to see extracurriculars? I've talked about it. He's like, no. He's like, what are you talking about?
It's like if we get to the fifth game of the matchup between these two teams next weekend, and one team is kind of beating up on the other team, you might see that. But
game one, it's like nothing is carrying over here. It's about winning these games
because they're so close together now that you can't afford to have guys be thrown out early or a brawl happen or something where it could go sideways for you because of how close it is in this division right now.
Yeah, like imagine in a dumb world, Randy Vasquez comes out and hits Ohtani.
Like first pitch of the game.
And then they're like, you're gone. Then the bench is clear. Yeah. And now you've messed up everything, basically. And by the way, one game impacts the next, right? So I don't forecast that. But I do think it's going to still feel different than when the Padres play the Marlins. Like it's going to be elevated. And there's going to be more drama. And there will be a batter hit in this series, trust me. Because that's just how baseball is played. So a batter's going to get hit, and we'll see how these teams respond to it. I'm expecting good games. I'm expecting good, drama-filled, maybe a back-and-forth game or two in here. That's my expectation for the weekend. I hope the Padres can find a way to get out of Dodger Stadium, winning 2 of the next 3 games. That's my hope.
Yeah, I think that if from the Dodgers side of things, I still have a weird suspicion that they might try to do something to jumpstart them here, like throw in on somebody.
Oh, they'll throw in on Toddy.
I don't see it coming from Kershaw, but I do see it coming from maybe a bullpen arm. I don't see it coming from Kershaw. And if they happen to lead tonight's game big, like 8-1, they may look at this thing like, hey, this last time you hit Ohtani, we didn't get to do anything.
We can make a point.
But it would have to be with a big lead, I feel like, because Kershaw is not going to go out there first pitch of the game to Tatis and throw up in it.
No, it's not his MO.
No, not even close.
And I wouldn't expect that either. And again, like we just said with Randy Vasquez, I would say you need Vasquez to be good. Don't give the Dodgers extra base runners. How many times have we said this year? Vasquez gets out of a bases loaded 1-out jam.
All the time.
2 on, nobody out jam. You don't want to give them an extra base runner. The one thing, and he made a good point, Mike Ferrin, he's like, yeah, the Dodgers have struggled, but he feels like offensively, they're not overly far off, right? Like their offense is capable of scoring at a good clip. Even this Angels series that they lost,
they scored runs.
They're losing games scoring 6 and 7 runs.
Yeah, it's like Ohtani's back on the Angels a little bit.
Right, like he's the first player with a save and a start and 2 homers and a loss.
Yeah, he struck out 9 and hit 2 home runs in the game, and the Dodgers lost 7-6.
Exactly. So offensively, I don't think you want to give the Dodgers anything additional on offense. And then from a Padres, like offensive perspective, I like where the Padres are. I like the way they're playing offense. I think they're fully capable of scoring the 4 or 5 runs that are required and then relying on your very deep pitching staff. But it's going to be fascinating to watch. Every game in LA obviously sold out. Every game in San Diego obviously sold out. Teams separated by 1 game. Padres leading a division this late for the first time since 2010. I mean, give me a break. I mean, this is everything that you asked for if you are a Dodger fan or a Padre fan or a baseball fan that's going to be paying attention this weekend.
It's not just a showdown in the National League West for first place on the line this weekend, John. It's also Players Weekend. And with Players Weekend comes nicknames.
Throw out the records.
This might be Shilt's favorite weekend of the year. other than opening day and the start of spring
nicknames.
training. Remember what he said? Spring training was like the top 5 greatest sports days of the year.
I thought it was pitchers and catchers reporting.
That's right. Pitchers and catchers reporting, not opening day. Pitchers and catchers.
Yeah.
He's like, this is like a top 5 sports moment of the year. Like, can you name me 5 better sporting events than pitchers and catchers reporting? I can't.
I want to share the nicknames on the other side. I also do we have the Will Smith sound? How long is this? Because I saw it, but I didn't listen to it.
It's not that long, no.
Okay, let's hear from Will Smith. The setup is just talking about this series, right? This weekend series against the Padres. This is Will Smith on what he's expecting out of the Dodgers in this series against the Padres.
It should be a fun 3 games. I'm sure Dodger Stadium's gonna be packed. It's gonna be loud. It's gonna be crazy. It should be fun. I always love playing there when it's crazy. Yeah, they're big games. We got a month and a half left, so it's kind of getting down to the wire. So yeah, these are 3 big ones. We definitely want to sweep them here. Yeah.
Oh,
slide that in. What?
Definitely want to sweep them here. Like it's just easy. Like they're playing like the Rockies.
Like, I mean, they've been struggling to win, the Dodgers.
We definitely want to sweep them here.
Wow. Okay.
All right. Thought it wasn't a rivalry. Thought that, everything was fine, but you definitely want to sweep them. Okay. We'll just mark that down and put that in our notes here.
Yeah, exactly. Just keep it off to the side.
Keep it off to the side just in case.
Okay. Also on the other side, we're going to hear from Alden Gonzalez about what happens if the Dodgers don't win the division. Is there a legitimate excuse for that if they don't win? Are we already making the excuse 40 games out for the Dodgers plus Players Weekend? What are the nicknames for the Padres this Players Weekend?
Do you think Shildt has a list in his hand of like
he
all
doesn't
the
need them? He knows them. He created them, like you said.
It's true, yeah.
Kyle Glazer, Friar Territory podcast at 4 p.m. Ryan Klesko, the ex-Padre great, will join us at 5 p.m. We're here until 6. It's Jon and Jim.
This update's brought to you by Staples Stores. Padres Dodgers start a 3-game series tonight up in LA. Padres have a 1-game lead over the Dodgers for first place in the National League West. Clayton Kershaw will be on the mound tonight for the Dodgers against TBD. Likely will be Randy Vasquez. He's been recalled to the active roster as Michael King went on the IL with left knee inflammation yesterday afternoon. How many times have we all said that was easy? Well, the Staples Easy button is back. It's got everyone saying it again for custom prints, shipping services, even passport photos, plus quality products delivered next day to over 98% of the U.S. Staples. That was easy.
Previously on Jon and Jim.
What does it take once you get to October? Because I'm not as worried about August and September, truthfully. I'm putting them in the postseason. I'm not as concerned about the seed. I'm concerned about how do they navigate October and what does Michael King need for October, not September.
Yeah, I'm concerned about the health of this team, making sure that no other key pieces go down to injury. I'm still looking at the here and now, and winning the division is definitely goal number one. It's got to be.
Now live from the studios of San Diego Sports 760, Jon and Jim.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? This is hour 2 of Jon and Jim getting you ready for this huge weekend set at Dodger Stadium between the Padres and the Dodgers. And coming up in 1 hour, Kyle Glazer, just a terrific baseball mind. He's been with us so many times over the years. He's with the Friar Territory podcast currently. He'll join us at 4. Looking forward to catching up as well with Ryan Klesko. The name alone speaks for itself. Obviously, in Padres history, he's going to be in town this weekend for the Dick's All-American Classic. He's managing against Trevor Hoffman Sunday at 5 at Petco Park, and he will join us coming up at 5 p.m. So a lot to get to. We're so excited for this. It's Players Weekend, whatever the hell that means. I honestly don't need Players Weekend this weekend.
No, I don't either.
I want to play it straight up, but they're no longer, you made me aware of this. I didn't even know. They used to do the ridiculous jerseys where you could put whatever you want on the back, right?
The jerseys, the name on the back, the different colors.
They
had like the white on white and the black on blacks. Remember those?
I do. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I forget what year, maybe like 2018 when the Red Sox, I remember the Red Sox came to town and they were wearing all black. Padres wearing all white.
And we're like, what is this?
And they had the nicknames on the back
with emojis on some of the jerseys.
I just remember Ted in the booth, he was so mad.
I don't blame him.
Because he couldn't see the names or the numbers on the jerseys because everything was white or black.
I mean, I remember that. I remember those jerseys specifically. Yeah. So it's Players Weekend. We'll get into some of those nicknames coming up. But Alden Gonzalez, who has covered baseball in Southern California for a long time, was on the Foul Territory podcast, right?
Uh-huh.
And you set this up for us.
Well, it's mostly because from a national narrative standpoint, you can already start to tell that if the Dodgers don't win the National League West or if they don't win the World Series, what will be the narrative? Not that they lost, not that they got beat straight up. The excuse train will come through, and I'm interested to see what excuses will be said. Well, there is an excuse already being planted, like the seed is being planted. And the excuse has to do with their deep run last year. That's what Alden Gonzalez had to say on Foul Territory.
When you're playing deep into October and sometimes November, there's a price to be paid. There's a price to be paid, especially with your pitching. And when you look at when you take a step back from this season, look at the injuries that they've suffered in their bullpen. A bullpen that they rode really hard last October to win a championship. I think a lot of that has shown up. It's not the only reason why they are where they are right now. I mean, you look at Freddie Freeman slumped for a while. Mookie Betts is not having the year that you would expect. Teoscar Hernandez, Tommy Edman, they just haven't been right. That's certainly part of it. The rotation early on was very injured. It is now healthy, but it was very injured early on in the year. That taxed the bullpen even more so. But, I mean, talk to the members of the 2023 Rangers and how winning the World Series spilled over into 2024. Talk to members of the current Dodgers about just the toll on the body, not just playing deep into October last year, but then opening up, remember, mid-March in Japan. I think that has a lot to do with it as well. And it's hard. And I didn't think they were going to go 162-0, obviously, and I didn't even think that they might. I thought maybe they'll have a chance at setting the regular season wins record, but I knew that was unlikely. I thought they were as well set up to be a repeat champion as maybe anybody this century because of how they fortified that roster in the offseason. But it just goes to show how difficult winning back-to-back champions is.
Oh, okay. So it's difficult. And they made a deep run in the postseason, so they're tired. And it's hard to go back-to-back. Give me a break.
The reason I think it's a lame excuse is that what about the Astros playing in 7 consecutive ALCSs or playing in the World Series every other year from the late 2010s through the early 2020s, or the Dodgers playing in as many NLCSs or World Series as they have played in? I don't think winning the World Series requires the same number of games as the team that loses one. Winning a World Series requires between 4 and 7 additional games as teams that lose in the championship series. It's not like this ridiculous bar that is cleared. You play another 5 games than the teams that didn't play in the World Series. You opened up in Korea or Japan. Okay. They did the year they went to the World Series. Mm-hmm. They just did that against the Padres last year. What impact did it have on them last year?
Let's look at the offseason moves for the Dodgers. Blake Snell, was he on that Dodgers World Series team last year? That would be a no.
No, he was not.
Was Michael Conforto on that Dodgers team that won a World Series last year?
That would have been a no.
Was Hae-Sung Kim?
No, not Hae-Sung or Ha-Sung.
Was Roki Sasaki on that team last year?
No.
Was Tanner Scott on that team last year?
He would not have been.
Was Kirby Yates on that team last year?
He would not have been.
So all those players who were signed in the offseason to have big roles, especially Tanner Scott and Blake Snell, and you had Kirby Yates, who had a fantastic year with the Rangers last year. Roki Sasaki, one of the biggest, free agents on the market in the offseason because of his price tag and the upside of him. That's interesting because if you're going to use the excuse that this team is tired, where is the excuse for all the players that I just named that weren't on the team last year who have not contributed to the team this year?
They were injured last year too, by the way. Before this deep postseason run that culminated in them winning the World Series, they were using 2 starting pitchers. What impact is playing deep into October having a lineup? None. What impact did it have on Shohei Ohtani's arm? He didn't pitch.
The only impact that there might be is from a motivation standpoint.
Yeah, 100%. And that's exactly it. It's the NFL theory. It's like, how do you motivate the Kansas City Chiefs when the bar is getting to a Super Bowl in week 4 of the regular season? I mean, yeah, that's of course, what was going to be hard about winning 115 games is that why would they even want to? I hate to put it that bluntly, but you know what I mean? Like, how are you telling me in the clubhouse before Dodgers Rockies, like, yo guys, let's go. It's Dodgers Rockies, man. We got to go, boy. They don't care. They fought to bet and win those series historically. Now they're not doing it at the same clip. But no, I don't think their quote unquote poor recent play or their overall record is like inherently tied back to playing last year at the end of October. No, like that to me is an excuse.
It's an excuse.
It's an excuse is what it is.
It's an excuse that is being made, or the seed is currently being planted by the national media if and when the Dodgers don't win it. But let's be real here. If they don't win it, they'll still win it, right? Even when they lose, they win.
If they lose, they're actually going to win this. You're right. If they lose this series, you could argue they won it because Ohtani didn't pitch.
But especially when Ohtani's on the mound, they win those games.
Except against the Angels and the Cardinals his last 2 times out.
Correct. When they got swept by the Angels.
And lost 5-3 to the Cardinals.
They've lost those series, but they actually won those series. It's so funny. I put that tweet out after the Dodgers got swept on Wednesday night.
Mm-hmm.
Man, did I put a lot of people's brains in pretzel knots.
Like the Dodgers won by losing, but they lost to the Angels.
So many Dodgers fans, like their brains were scrambled trying to understand why I said that, because Dodger fans live in my mentions. And it was just like, mwah, chef's kiss. Like that's exactly what I wanted. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's very easy to go find it because MLB Network said the dumbest thing ever that we played on the show a couple days ago. It was hilarious watching people's brains be completely fried trying to understand what I was saying.
Yeah, no, 100%. And listen, I mean, I don't even think they need excuses right now because they're a game out in the division.
40 to play.
I think what I would say is everyone realizes it, including I think me and you, that the Dodgers are fully capable of playing better than they played. Like, I don't think any of the conversation we've had has anything to do with anyone saying the Dodgers can't win the West or can't win a postseason series against the Padres or can't win the World Series. Nobody is saying that. Like, nobody has been like, it's over. Padres are better. I mean, if you are, you're an idiot. It's as simple as that. Nobody is saying that. And that's why I would say they don't need an excuse right now. Their season's not over. They could win the World Series. And also, there's not going to be an excuse right now for the Padres. They don't need one now. Though when the season ends for these teams, the book is written. If the Padres lose because Michael King is hurt, that'll be a part of the story. If the Dodgers lose because they're dealing with injuries, it'll be a part of the story. But we don't even know. Like, all these excuses, are they even necessary? The Dodgers might be back in a World Series. The Padres might reach a World Series for the first time since 1998. I just think it's too early to go down those paths, truthfully.
Like, if the Dodgers fans want to use excuses of injuries, Padres have the same excuse if they don't win, right? Michael King's missed how much time this year? Yeah, they've dealt with injuries. So you can't use that excuse. It happens to everybody. You know, no one's using the injury excuse unless the team gets literally decimated by it. Then you have no other choice to be like, well, yeah, you know what? They didn't have anybody on their team. Everyone got injured. But that's not the case here. To me, it's straight up, mano y mano, right? May the best man win. May the best team win. And whatever team wins, the NL West, they're going to go in the postseason with, hopefully, well, not hopefully if it's the Dodgers, but, most likely the 2 seed, depending on how things go with the Phillies. Yeah. Or no matter what, they'll have home field in the first round of the wild card, whoever they play. And you know what? The winner of the National League West.
Winner.
Yeah. So look, it to me, there's no excuses on either side. None.
Here's to your point. When the Padres season ended last year with 24 consecutive scoreless innings, did you hear Jim or I making excuses for the Padres?
No, we said they choked.
I mean, did we make one excuse? Did we say, oh, it's payroll?
Joe Musgrove.
It's
nothing to do with the offense.
It's unfair. It was it's the Ohtani contract. Did we say that after the year? Did we use any of that? Did we say any of that? No, it was fair and square at that point, and it's going to be fair and square this time around too.
100%.
It's whatever happens from here on out. I'll talk about in the offseason payroll discrepancies and resources and trades, but once you're here, and specifically in October, I don't care if the Dodgers have a higher payroll. I don't care if the Padres have more injuries. I just care who wins on field.
Well, from that standpoint, because the Dodgers spent as much as they did in the offseason, that takes away any opportunity of excuse.
Sure.
There's no excuses here. All right. You guys have the highest payroll in the sport. You guys spent $1 billion in the offseason. You spent almost $1 billion the last 2 years. $1 billion this offseason, $1 billion last offseason signing Ohtani. There's no excuse ever for the Dodgers. They're always going to be considered the favorite. Never, ever let them tell you, or their fans tell you that they're the underdogs, or let the media tell you that they're the underdogs here. When you have a payroll as high as they do, you're not the underdogs. All right. Just stop with that. So, yeah, the excuse making that I can already see being planted right now, it's going to get louder and louder if the Dodgers continue to play bad baseball and if the Padres continue to play good baseball. And the gap in the National League West at the top widens a little bit here. But we'll see what happens over the next week, because this time next week and in 2 weeks from now, right, it's the picture is going to be much more clearer in the National League West. That's for sure.
100%. Completely agree. All right. It is Players Weekend. We'll share the Padres Player Weekend nicknames with you on the other side.
Oh, perfect.
Plus the Dodgers Game 1 lineup is out. We'll share that with you coming up. The Padres have not yet announced their starter for tonight. It could be an opener or it could be Randy Vasquez. Plus Kyle Glazer, Friar Territory podcast. He will join us at 4 p.m. And Ryan Klesko will join us coming up at 5 p.m. We've got you covered all the way until 6 tonight. This is Jon Jim, San Diego Sports 760, and live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, Kyle Glazer will join us coming up at 4 p.m. Friar Territory podcast. Ryan Klesko at 5. We remind you, AM radio keeps vital voices accessible. Congress can secure its future, but we need your help. Text AM to 52886 now to support keeping AM radio in cars. Tell your member of Congress to pass legislation now. Keep AM radio in cars. Standard message and data rates apply. All right, Jim, have you seen this Padres lineup?
No, I haven't.
It's been unfurled by Mike Shildt.
Unfurled?
I think you only unfurl a flag, actually.
Like unwind? Like undo?
Kind of. Yeah, that's what it means. Yeah. Would you like to see it?
Now
you can see it.
Now, is the lineup out with all of their nicknames on it from the Padres?
No. Just the actual name of the people.
Who? Okay. The name. Okay.
So, do you have the nicknames? Do you have the nicknames for Players Weekend?
Hold on. Let me pull it up.
I'll say the player and you tell me if they have a nickname. I'll give you the lineup and you give me the nickname. All right.
Okay.
So Fernando Tatis Jr. leads off in right field. Does he have a nickname?
El Nino.
All right. He's El Nino for Players Weekend. Luis Ariz plays first.
La Regadera.
Yes. Okay. The sprinkler. Manny Machado plays third.
El Ministro.
Xander Bogaerts plays short.
X-Man.
Jackson Merrill in center.
Action Jackson.
Okay. Ramon Laureano in left.
Ramoncito.
Okay. Jose Iglesias is in the starting lineup at DH tonight.
Cantatella.
Jake Cronenworth plays second.
Crone Zone.
Freddie Fermin catches and hits ninth.
The Ferminator.
Okay. So they all have nicknames.
Yeah.
For Players Week.
Probably butchered a couple of them, but
I think you did.
Sorry.
What about the starting pitcher being Wandy Peralta? You heard me right. The starting pitcher is Wandy Peralta.
Yeah, I got no nickname there, John.
But his name is not Randy Vasquez, the starting pitcher. His name is Wandy Peralta.
Oh wait, wait, hold up, pause. Sorry,
Yeah,
I was looking for
the starting
right through my
pitcher who will throw one inning is named Wandy Peralta.
So they're going bullpen game.
Well, or it's Peralta, 3 innings, Vasquez, bullpen.
Why not just start Vasquez?
Because oftentimes you'll do this to just bridge gaps and shorten and just throw a left-hander in there, right?
Lefty against the top of the lineup with Ohtani and Freddie Freeman.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
For an inning. See if you can have success with it, and then boom, you're done. Game shortened. You go to Vasquez for a couple of innings. Game shortened.
So the plan tonight is Peralta for 1 because you're facing Ohtani and Freeman, and hopefully you get Randy Vasquez for 3. Hopefully it's 3 up, 3 down for 3 straight innings.
Well, I don't know if that's the hope.
But that's the plan. Is like, hey, can we get 3 innings out of you for their 4 through 9 in the lineup?
Well, that would only be 2 innings.
Well, yeah, you're right. 3-6.
Yeah, no, I think the plan is to probably have him come in and throw a few innings.
I would say 3.
3. And then you're in the 5th. And that's where, to your point, you can go with 5 relievers potentially there.
If they have the lead, we'll see what happens.
Exactly.
Bring it home, Morejon.
Bring it home, Morejon.
Bring it home,
Morejon.
Wow. So
wow,
what a lineup. So Wandy Peralta.
Wow, look at that lineup.
Wow, look at that lineup.
Wow.
I guess I wasn't expecting that, but I understand it. I understand why Wandy Peralta is out there to start the game. I'm curious to see where he goes after Wandy Peralta, but you're probably right. It's probably going to be Randy Vasquez. Unless he just says, you know what, we're going full bullpen day.
Yeah.
Like if they go Wandy Peralta followed by David Morgan, followed by
Yuki Matsui,
Estrada, and Morejon, and
you might run out eventually.
And Adam and Miller and Suarez. I mean, you could do it. You could do it.
Little aggressive would be my guess.
It would be aggressive.
Because Randy Vasquez, to your point, when they recalled him, he hasn't thrown in 5 days.
Yes.
So why would you recall him if he hasn't thrown in 5 days to not pitch him tonight? That to me would be surprising. By the way, Wandy P, is that his nickname or whatever his nickname is?
Sure.
He's been very solid. I mean, 3.13 ERA. He had that absurd blow up, remember?
New York.
I mean, other than that, Mrs. Lincoln has the play because he allowed 6 runs that day, 6 earnies. That's 6 of the 19 earned runs he's allowed this year were in one outing. So take away that outing, you can't. You'd have like a 2 ERA.
He's been really good.
So
he has been 54 and 2/3 innings. He's got a 3.13 ERA.
Yep, he's been really good. He's been solid.
So he gives you a chance in one inning. You know, if he gives you one good inning, that kind of starts the ball rolling on the night.
It's not the sexy matchup from a starting pitching standpoint that you had going into this game yesterday with Michael King against Clayton Kershaw.
True.
hopefully he gets the job done. Max Muncy's not in the Dodgers lineup tonight.
He's hurt, right?
Yeah, he was scratched because he still has soreness in his side.
Mm-hmm. What's their lineup?
I don't have it in front of me.
Okay, I'll try to find it. Because I thought I saw it earlier. I think it's been out for maybe 30 minutes or so. Let's see if that has been posted.
It's not been posted on there.
It hasn't. Too much Morton's had it. Saw it earlier in the last few minutes. And you got it?
Yeah. Ohtani, Betts, Will Smith. Okay, so that's interesting. Freddie Freeman, Teoscar Hernandez, Andy Pages, Conforto, Freeland, Rojas, and Kershaw's on the mound.
It is interesting because by using a lefty in Peralta, my argument would have been, well, you're going to see 2 left-handed batters in the first inning, which he may, but Freeman would have to bat. He's the 4th batter in the inning, right? So really Peralta's facing 2 righties guaranteed, not 2 lefties guaranteed by starting this game.
Hey, but did you know that Wandy Peralta's ground ball rate is really good?
Not necessarily. I didn't.
I was just joking. Mike Shildt would probably say that.
Well, we're going to hear from Mike Shildt.
We are, yes.
We're going to hear from Mike Shildt before the end of today's show. He will comment on Peralta starting and Michael King going on the IL. So a lot of maneuvering here before the series because you're going with an opener in Wandy Peralta. You've had the move with Randy Vasquez up, and we'll see how the Padres treat tonight. Game 1 of this 3-game series at Dodger Stadium. Padres have won 5 consecutive games. The Dodgers have lost 4 straight coming in. All right, coming up on the show, again at 4 p.m., Kyle Glazer, used to be with Baseball America, now has a podcast, the Friar Territory Podcast. He'll join us at 4. Ryan Klesko will join us coming up at 5 p.m. Also, if you missed our conversation with Mike Ferrin, MLB Network Radio, you'll hear that in the 4 o'clock hour. But a ton to react to as we get you ready for the Padres and the Dodgers. Game 1 of a 3-game series from Dodger Stadium. Don't go anywhere. This is Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760, and live on the iHeartRadio app.
All right, this update's brought to you by La Jolla Playhouse. Padres Dodgers game 1 of their 3-game series starts tonight up in LA. We have Clayton Kershaw on the mound for the Dodgers. Wandy Peralta is making the start tonight for the Padres. It's his first start in the big league since 2021. Don't know if this is just an opener situation for the Padres, but we will see later tonight as Michael King went on the IL yesterday with left knee inflammation, and Randy Vasquez has been recalled to the active roster. Don't miss the next musical from La Jolla Playhouse. The new show is set over 24 hours in San Diego. From the Tony Award-winning director of Broadway's Come From Away, the heart tells the incredible story of one young surfer's heart with an epic electronic score. Begins August 19th. Tickets at lajollaplayhouse.org.
All right, Kyle Glazer coming up. Friar Territory podcast. He will join us at 4 p.m. Ryan Klesko, the ex-Padre, had some huge years here in the early 2000s. He will join us coming up at 5 p.m. We'll talk about Perfect Games High School Baseball All-Star event that is Sunday at 5 p.m. at Petco Park with Ryan Klesko. And we'll talk about, of course, the Padres and the Dodgers coming up tonight at 7 to 10. So what you just said about Wandy Peralta is interesting, which is he has started. It was one time all the way back in 2021. And what AJ Cassavell writes on social media is, well, it's not known, and we'll hear from Mike Shildt coming up, but it's not known, like, is it strictly an inning or could they give him multiple innings? Because, for example, 2 outings ago, he went 2 innings against Boston. So he's capable, obviously. I mean, all these guys are capable of going more than 1 inning. The question is, do they want him going more than 1 inning here tonight against the Dodgers or not?
Yeah, is it a true bullpen game, though? Or is it a, hey, Wandy Peralta's, the opener, and they're going to go with a guy like Randy Vasquez for a bulk?
I kind of like that path. Like, you get a guy for an inning to switch things up, then you go to your actual starter just in the 2nd inning, and he throws 3+ innings. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden you look up at the 5th inning and you can unload these arms that you have with, if you're tied ahead or maybe within a run. That to me makes sense, because I think if Peralta goes an inning, and to your point, you go to David Morgan in the 2nd inning, just like you're asking to piecemeal a lot together. You can do it.
Yeah,
they have the bullpen to do it. But if you have anything that gets in the way there, you're kind of screwed. Any bad inning, it's going to mess with the entire night for you.
Right. What would you feel more comfortable with, though?
I'm more comfortable watching Jason Adam throw 2 innings tonight in the 5th and the 6th inning, as opposed to Randy Vasquez throwing the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th inning. But I think the safe play, and I think the play they'll use, is Randy Vasquez throwing multiple innings before you see these high leverage arms. That's my guess. But Shildt will probably comment on it to some extent.
Yeah, it's interesting, because if Randy Vasquez was going to be used as like a bulk guy in this game, why not just start him?
Because the modern baseball would tell you that, I mean, this is now done, right? This is what teams do. Tampa does this. Those throw an opener and then go to a guy for 3 innings. The Dodgers have done this.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's 100% true. Why couldn't you go Vasquez 3, Peralta 4th inning?
Right. Well, the idea is probably we don't know where the lineup's going to be at in the 4th inning.
Correct.
And so what you want to do is you want to have your relievers in there
for the right
matchups. Now, it is a little bit of a chess play here by the Dodgers. I don't know if the lineup came out before they knew Wandy Peralta was a starter. My guess is it didn't.
That's interesting.
My guess is they saw that it was Wandy Peralta, and then they had the lineup be accordingly with what it is right now. I'm interested to see what the lineup was for the Dodgers on Wednesday night against the Angels.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And let me check on that real quick, because I thought that he would be facing 2 lefties with Freeman and Ohtani, but instead Will Smith's hitting 3rd tonight. So the lineup on Wednesday night for the Dodgers against the Angels was Ohtani, Betts, Freeman, Smith.
Yeah, so it probably has to do with, it's a cat and mouse. Maybe they did know Peralta was starting, and then they went left, right, as opposed to left, right, left.
Can you change your starting pitcher? Like, can they go to David Morgan to start instead of Wandy Peralta?
No, they can't.
Wandy Peralta.
Yeah, they can't. So, like, barring injury or whatever.
Okay, so that's my guess. My guess is once the Dodgers found out that Wandy Peralta was starting tonight, they put their lineup, accordingly, with, instead of 2 of the first 3 lefties, now you have only Ohtani, a lefty, out of the first 3 hitting tonight.
You made an interesting point earlier with Mike Ferrin. We were like, hey, I would treat this like a playoff game. And he was like, well, there's still 40 games to play. But now I'm wondering from the Dodgers perspective as well, how much are you quote unquote going for it? You've lost 4 straight. Things have gone sideways. Like how are you attacking this? Now they don't have the same bullpen as the Padres, right? They don't look close. They don't try to get their starter through 4 innings and then be like 4 innings dive and we got 5 guys in the back end. Padres are the opposite. So I think the Padres can kind of treat a game like this a lot differently than LA. In fact, LA probably wants to get the extra inning out of Clayton Kershaw tonight. You want him to get through 6 as opposed to get through 5. But
right.
It's in terms of, listen, I think it feels like the playoffs, even though it's not we get it. It's not a playoff game. It's like the loser of this game is out and the winner is in. It's not as simple as that, but I do think the way it'll feel is like some of the moves made by the managers and the way the crowds react. I think it'll feel like a playoff game tonight.
It is funny. It's like, all Dodgers fans talk about. It's like, this is the Padres World Series for them. They care about us so much. All they do is talk about us, blah, 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 blah. Mike Shilt's like, yeah, we're starting Wandy Peralta tonight.
Yeah, it's just another game.
Now it's because of circumstance, obviously. Because if King wasn't injured, King would be starting tonight. But it is funny how that, kind of dynamic happened there of like all Dodgers fans whine about is how much Padres fans and the Padres care about the Dodgers, when in reality, it's kind of the other way a little bit. Yes, Padres fans, they care about the Dodgers and what they're doing for sure, because the Padres are chasing the Dodgers in the National League West, and they've been chasing them for the last decade plus with nothing to show for it. So I get that, but it is funny from that perspective. It's like, oh, it's your guys' World Series. It's your guys' World Series. We're starting Wandy Peralta in game 1.
Yeah. And
screw you.
And Shildt will tell you in a couple hours when we hear from him that it's just another game.
Even
if he doesn't feel that way. I do wonder, in a Dodgers fan's heart of hearts, are they worried about the way the Dodgers have played here recently? Are they worried that the Padres have taken over first place in the division? Or do they truly feel like, it's fine, there's 40 games left, when we need to turn it on, we'll turn it on? Padres fans, you've gotten ahead of yourself.
Right.
Or is there actual worry? I believe, and I could be wrong, Dodgers have won a lot of games and a lot of regular seasons and division titles here recently. Maybe they're so boisterous that they truly believe that everything is fine and the Dodgers they'll win 30 of their last 40 games and this will be water under the bridge. But I kind of feel like if you're a diehard Dodger fan, you put your head on the pillow at the end of the night, you got to be concerned because your team hasn't played well. So it's not because you're concerned about the Padres necessarily, but how could you not be concerned about your own team that just got swept by the Angels, went 0-6 against the Angels this year, 12-21 in your last 33 games? Do you really think from a fan perspective they're just going to turn it on? I'm kind of fascinated to know. Is that what Dodger fans really think is going to happen here? And maybe it will.
Don't get it twisted. Dodgers fans are worried. They're worried about their team. They're worried about the Padres. They're worried about their chances to win another World Series. Like, don't get it twisted here. Any Dodgers fan out there that tells you like, it's fine. They're still the Padres.
Well, I see a lot of it.
I see a lot of it too
in the comments and the replies.
Yeah, but guess what? You're lying to yourself. Okay,
it's like making you feel good.
Yeah,
at night.
You're trying to trick your mind,
right?
If you're a Dodgers fan, into everything is okay. And hey, you know what? Maybe it will end up being okay for you guys.
Right?
Maybe it will. Right? That's the sport, and there's only a 1-game gap here between the two teams. It's not a 10-game gap like it was a month ago, and now the Dodgers have blown it. But look, I get it. You try to trick your mind into feeling like everything is okay, but don't get it twisted. This is not that type of thing going on here, because the Padres are on the Dodgers' tail, and by the way, they lead them in the division. So now the Dodgers are hunting the Padres, not the other way around.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Even though it's only a 1-game lead, I know it's a 1-game lead, and it could obviously be tied after tonight. And
I mean, they could be
up by 2 games after this weekend. So,
but no, I agree with what you're selling. I from a Padres perspective, which is how we spend 99% of our day. The thing is, I like the way the Padres are playing, regardless of opponent right now. Whether it's the Dodgers, whether it's the Phillies, whether it's the Brewers or the Marlins, like any team, good or bad. I just like the way the Padres are playing right now. I'm going to trust in the Padres play and their roster more than anything else. And I think, based on the way that they've played, they're fully capable of winning this division, whether they win 2 out of 3 this weekend or not. By the way, if the Dodgers win 2 out of 3 this weekend, okay, doesn't mean they're going to win the division. The two teams will be tied.
This is an interesting quote. Fabian Aidara. He's joined us before on the show. Interesting quote from Dave Roberts here. Did you see this?
I have not.
Fabian put this out. I think this was this morning.
Okay.
Say the 15th. Yeah, this was this morning. Quote, I do think it's one of those things where they, being the Padres, are very hyper-focused on us. But I guess it's a compliment. Still, we've got to match their intensity because they want to beat us more than anything.
Almost like a backhanded compliment.
Exactly. That's
or
funny.
Actually a backhanded compliment.
That's funny. Dave. Okay. When you say they're hyper-focused, everybody behind you is focused on trying to beat you. Okay. That's the whole point of this. And you also can't tell us that you're not focused on the Padres as well. Because if you weren't, you wouldn't have acted the way you did the last time you guys met in the regular season. If you truly didn't care about anything Padres related or their team or their fans, you wouldn't have acted like a clown trying to fight Mike Shildt last time you guys faced each other in June. Okay. If you don't care about somebody, you're not going to try to start stuff with somebody. That's what it is.
Yeah. I mean,
and you laugh it off. Yeah. Like Dave would I see like a lot of people on social media tell me I'm an idiot. Like
they do.
And you know what I do? Because I don't care about them. I laugh it off. Dave, you didn't laugh it off. You acted like a clown and you got really mad. That means you care.
By the way, in this article, Dave Roberts is quoted saying that he and Mike Shildt have not discussed the war of words. Remember when the bench is cleared? Mm-hmm. He says, this is a quote from Dave Roberts. I never want to make it about me. I really don't. I just took offense to his response towards me. I thought it was directed at me, but I just want to go out and play good baseball. That's kind of where my head's at. So the questions that we asked of Mike Ferrin, will this spill over? Dave Roberts is quoted as saying no. And I guarantee Mike Shildt will say the same thing if asked about it by the media. But it's still a talking point because Dave Roberts said to Fabian Ardaya, I just took offense to his response towards me. I thought it was directed at me. I mean, it's still being discussed. He didn't say that was last time. I've moved on. I don't want to discuss it. It's neither here nor there. He didn't say that. He went back to the moment, took offense to it clearly, but said his team needs to play better baseball moving forward. And it wasn't about him. So the idea that none of this is carrying over, I don't know if that's true or not.
I think the thought is there. I think it's going to carry over for the foreseeable future. Like it will be in the back of everybody's mind for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But will anybody do anything? Will there be anything said or done? Mike Ferrin was pretty adamant about it, and I kind of tend to agree with him after listening to him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so. Unless, like Mike Ferrin said earlier, unless we get to next weekend and one team's won, 5 in a row off the other team, then you might get something in that final game.
Right.
But game 1 of the series tonight, first game of the 6 times they play each other over the next 2 weeks here, or the next week, excuse me, probably you're not going to see anything just because these games are so important.
Mookie bets on the series is big, but it kind of is what it is. We can't make it more than what it is. It's another series in August. Obviously, we all know it's big in X, Y, and Z. That's his quote, but we can't make it that way. That they're like playing mind games with themselves. I don't even understand the point here.
If there's not an appropriate fear from the Dodgers standpoint for the Padres, I mean, look, if the Dodgers end up winning, then what they're doing right now, being all nonchalant about this, then I guess it works.
It's very nonchalant.
But the thing is, after the postseason last year, all they did was go on a media tour for 2 months talking about how great the Padres were.
Man, they were the best team in baseball.
And how they knew they had to beat them because if they got through them, that was the best team they were going to face all postseason.
Yeah, where's the MLB Network clip from last year that the Padres didn't win the World Series, but they really did because of how well they played against the Dodgers?
Yeah, so don't tell me that the Dodgers don't think about the Padres. All the Dodgers did in the postseason or after the postseason last year was talk about the Padres. So that quote from Dave Roberts, bro, I don't get it, man.
Yeah, it's interesting that they're downplaying it when I feel like the Padres kind of lean into it. I feel like I'd prefer, from like a fan's perspective, for my team to lean into it, but to each their own. All right, more on this on the other side, plus Kyle Glazer, Friar Territory at 4 p.m. Ryan Klesko joins us at 5 p.m. We're here until 6. Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. All right, Kyle Glazer used to be with Baseball America. We've had him on a ton over the years. Right around the trade deadline as well. I think we had him the day after the deadline, actually. He's going to join us coming up at 4 p.m. He is at Dodger Stadium, where tonight the Padres will play game one of a 3-game series against the Dodgers. We will hear from Mike Shildt after he has spoken with the media, which is not as of yet. It's a 7:10 start, but we hope to hear from Mike Shildt at some point during the 5 o'clock hour here today. And then Ryan Klesko, by the way, capping off our week with all these ex-Padres, these Padres greats. Ryan Klesko will join us coming up, Jim, at 5 p.m. Would love to get his perspective on Padres Dodgers, how it's evolved here to 2025 from when he played 20 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, some of the older players didn't, I feel like, have a chance to have this type of rivalry with the Dodgers, unfortunately. But still, I mean, it's fun to watch now. I mean, it's the number one thing in the baseball world, which is this rivalry, right? So, yeah, it's fun to watch.
100% fun to watch. All right, so Padres and Dodgers coming up. Again, the Padres coming in with Wandy Peralta on the mound. That was a bit of a surprise to us. That was not the expectation heading into today. Maybe it was. People were saying, well, they could turn to an opener, or maybe it's going to be Randy Vasquez. I think the story of the last 24 hours is Michael King. You know, like we're spending so much time on tonight, rightfully so. But I think the story of the last 24 hours is what has played out here. No Michael King. Thought it would be Randy Vasquez tonight. I still, Jim, would be surprised if we didn't see Randy Vasquez tonight. Like, I don't think you make a move here, starting pitcher for starting pitcher, and go entire bullpen game and pitch Randy Vasquez one or fewer innings. That would surprise me tonight. I think he gets multiple innings tonight.
I think so too. It's interesting the way that the Dodgers made their lineup tonight, and how that might affect things that Mike Shildt might do, right?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I do.
Because maybe Dave made this lineup because of Adrian Morejon late in games. Because you have two lefties at the top of your lineup, two first three batters as lefties. Well, Adrian Morejon is waiting there to face
cover that inning.
Cover that inning.
Right.
So maybe you split that up and you move Freeman down in the lineup and move Will Smith to the 3 spot to combat that.
So a little bit of a chess move, regardless of who's starting tonight.
Yeah, break up your lefties and don't have them hit so close to each other.
Interesting. Yeah.
But all in all, yeah, I would tend to believe that it will be Randy Vasquez at some point tonight. But who knows? I'm interested to see what Mike Shildt has to say today, even though you know what he's going to say? Absolutely nothing.
But do you think he wants to use all 5? Like, do you want to start the series? I guess you want to start the series with a win. But, like, do you think you want to cover 9 innings with your bullpen in game 1? There's no off days coming up. And if you cover 9 innings in game 1, I know you're coming off an off day, but then aren't you a little spent heading into game 2 and heading into a stretch where you don't have off days for, I don't know how long it is. It's at least the next 10 games. So, like, is it preferable to cover all these innings with your bullpen, or is it preferable to at some point turn to Randy Vasquez and say, yo, you're starting the 2nd inning. We want you out there in the 6th. We want you to cover 4 or 5 innings like you would have done if you were starting this game. It's not like Randy Vasquez at any point this year has been a 2-inning guy. He's given them 4 or 5 innings consistently.
My guess is no on that.
That he would give him 4 or 5 innings?
I don't think that's going to be the case. I think if Randy Vasquez does come in the game tonight, it's like a 3-inning max.
Right.
Because Randy Vasquez has been taken out in the 5th inning a lot this year. Sometimes he hasn't even started the 5th inning.
True.
I mean, you look at his game log, how many games recently at the big league level has he completed 5 innings?
I don't feel like it's been a lot. He's made it into the 5th. Like, how many times has he not completed?
Like, you see a lot of 4 2/3, 4 1/3 from Randy Vasquez this year, right?
Correct. But the last time he didn't make it into a 5th inning was June 1st. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9 consecutive start. No, 10 consecutive starts. He's gone at least 4 innings. So, but you make a good point. If Peralta goes an inning or 2, maybe you don't need Vasquez working into a 5th, 6th inning. By there, you're like, we got you covered. Now we're going to turn it over to these 5 relievers.
Yeah. I'm going to be very interested to see the way Mike Shildt treats this game tonight. If he does just go full bullpen day, right? If maybe they don't feel comfortable with Randy Vasquez pitching tonight because it's on short notice to let him know that he was going to be pitching at the big league level. I mean, I don't know. I know he'd be on regular rest, but maybe it's too quick of a turnaround for him.
Do you remember his 2 starts against the Dodgers this year?
I want to say they were like actually kind of okay.
4 2/3 innings, 1 run on 2 hits, and 5 innings, 3 runs.
Okay.
So 4 2/3 innings, 1 run. The next start he made, 5 innings, 3 runs. So 9 2/3 innings, 4 runs, sub 4 ERA, which is who he's been. That's who he's consistently been.
Yeah.
All year he sat in that 3.5 to like 4.1 ERA. They sent him down, right? Nestor Cortez was here. JP Sears is here. But now, out of necessity, Vasquez is back, and hopefully he is able to give them what he gave them previously. We're going to see him tonight. I do not see a scenario where Randy Vasquez does not appear for the San Diego Padres tonight. That would be utterly shocking to me, even with Wandy Peralta starting.
Shocking.
Absolutely shocking. There's no way to cover the inning.
Flabbergasted.
Yeah, there's no way. How?
What do you mean how?
How do you cover 7, 8 innings?
All right, let's do it. Ready?
Okay, do
All
it.
right. Wandy Peralta, there's 1.
Yeah.
David Morgan, 2. Adrian Morahone, 2. Now we're at what, John? 2 + 2 + 1 is 5.
Yeah, but now 2 of your pitchers are now down tomorrow, but continue on because nobody can go 2 innings and then be up tomorrow, but continue.
Then Jason Adam,
4.
an inning and 2/3 or an inning and a
down
third.
tomorrow. Continue.
Down tomorrow?
Nobody goes multiple innings and then is back. I mean, you're asking a lot of them in that spot, right?
And then you got Jeremiah Estrada for at least 1.
And then Suarez for the final inning.
And then you got Jason Adam, Mason Miller.
No, you already used Adam.
Did I use Adam? Okay.
Yeah.
Then Mason Miller and then Robert Suarez.
I know, but that's very wishful, isn't it?
It's very wishful thinking, but you know what? It can be done.
Unconventional for August 15th, but
I agree. I'm just telling you, like, it can be done. It's unconventional. If they can get to the 4th inning at least,
yes,
without using the guys that I just named,
I agree.
Then it's 100% possible to do.
Yeah, if you can get to the 4th inning, the key is what do you do with the first 3 innings?
That's
where I think Randy Vasquez comes in after Wandy Peralta. But we'll see.
You could do David Morgan for 2.
You could. You absolutely could.
And there's your 3 right there.
Kind of. Although Morgan, I think, was in your hypothetical.
Or if Wandy Peralta does have a good first inning,
you give him a second inning.
You give him a second inning, say he gets 1 out in the second because Freddie Freeman's up. Then you make the move to David Morgan.
Yeah, he covers an inning in 2/3.
There you go.
Yeah. Kyle Glazer, Friar Territory. What does he think? He's at Dodger Stadium. How will the Padres use their pitching staff here tonight as we get ready for Game 1? Padres and Dodgers. Kyle Glazer to kick off hour 3 of Jon and Jim. That'll come your way next.
All right, this update's brought to you by Rapid Radios. Padres Dodgers start a 3-game series in LA tonight. Clayton Kershaw on the mound for the Dodgers. Wandy Peralta, he's getting the start tonight for the Padres after Michael King was placed on the 15-day IL yesterday with left knee inflammation. Randy Vasquez has been recalled to the active roster. Rapid Radios are instant push to talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off. And free UPS shipping, add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
Previously on Jon and Jim.
What does it take once you get to October? Because I'm not as worried about August and September, truthfully. I'm putting them in the postseason. I'm not as concerned about the seed. I'm concerned about how do they navigate October and what does Michael King mean for October, not September.
Yeah, I'm concerned about the health of this team, making sure that no other key pieces go down to injury. I'm still, looking at the here and now, and winning the division is definitely goal number one. It's got to be.
Now live from the studios of San Diego Sports 760, Jon and Jim.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? This is hour 3 as we get you ready for game 1 tonight, and we go out to L.A. Kyle Glazer is going to be covering tonight's game. He's with Friar Territory. Of course, spent a lot of time at Baseball America and has been with us a number of times over the years. And Kyle, we appreciate you rejoining us right now on Jon and Jim. I don't know if you're in the building or if Mike Shildt has spoken as of yet, but what do you think the plan is? We know Wandy Peralta is starting. Will they eventually turn things over to a Randy Vasquez here tonight to cover a few innings, or is this a true bullpen game tonight in game 1 for the Padres?
I would expect Randy Vasquez to come in and be the bulk guy here. Just looking at, in terms of rest, the last time he's on 5 days of rest, he's on regular rest. So this would be the situation where they open with Peralta and then they turn to Vasquez to cover the bulk of the game. That's what I firmly expect.
What's the concern level from you about this, latest Michael King injury, left knee inflammation? Obviously, maybe Mike Shildt will say something later this afternoon when he talks to the media. But on first glance, how concerning is it in your mind?
Yeah, I think we need to learn more before we make any summary judgments. I will say it's not uncommon for guys in their first outing back from an injury, just mechanics are off and maybe they start compensating for something. And at the end of the day, you want him as healthy as possible down the stretch in September and hopefully into October. So even if this is minor, the right thing to do is just put him on the IL, get him back to 100%. This is a situation where you don't want to push it and make something worse as much as it would be great to have.
Kyle Glazer, Friar Territory podcast with us right now on Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. Kyle, if you go to something like Fangraphs, they'll still tell you that despite being a game behind the Padres, the Dodgers are somewhat prohibitive favorites, maybe to win this division or even to win the World Series. In your estimation, should we still see the Dodgers as front runners in this division right now or not?
I really see the Padres and Dodgers as even at this point, and the standings reflect that. The Padres are playing really, really good, high-quality baseball. And look, all season long, they had a great pitching staff. Even when guys were hurt, they were top 5 in the majors in ERA, opponent's average, WHIP, pretty much everything, top 5, top 10. They've been a great base running team all year. They've been a great defensive team all year. They just had some problems in the lineup. Well, those problems are gone. This is now a complete team that can hurt you a lot of different ways. And I think the same is true for the Dodgers when they are healthy. I think right now these two teams are very evenly matched. The Padres are obviously playing really good baseball. The Dodgers in the middle of the skid. But if you just kind of zoom out and look at the big picture, I don't think there's a ton of separation between these two teams at all.
With all the moves that AJ made, shoring up the weak links on this team, that is in his words, do you see like an obvious weak point or like a spot in the team that can be considered, like a weak part of their roster right now?
Not really. The Padres did a really, really good job. The front office did a really, really good job of addressing every aspect of the team and really, really shoring it up. I think if you wanted to really, really nitpick, what you could say is you want to see the starting pitchers go deep into games consistently. Now we've seen Nick Pivetta pitch into the 7th a bunch. We've seen Dylan Cease pitch into the 7th in his most recent start. Yu Darvish has shown the ability to do it recently too. So you're not too worried about it, but as good as this bullpen is, they were ridden hard early in the season and you want them to be as fresh as possible. So, maybe you say you want the starters to go a little deeper in games, but it's not like it's a red alert, huge issue. I mean, the Padres right now in terms of they're in good shape.
Kyle Glazer with us right now, Friar Territory podcast. Kyle, are you surprised at the way the Dodgers have played here over what has essentially been a prolonged period of time? Basically, since early July, they've been well under 500.
I'm not surprised that their bullpen has struggled. The Dodgers have the fewest innings pitched from their starters all season. And then you add in the fact that most of their best relievers are injured in terms of Michael Kopech, Kirby Yates, Tanner Scott. I'm not surprised to see the bullpen really, really faltering. What I am surprised is since July 4th, the Dodgers are bottom 10 in the majors in most offensive categories, runs scored, batting average, OPS. That to me is a big surprise. They've just had a lot of holes in the bottom of the lineup, similar to what the Padres had early in the year. They've had some guys just not performing quite up to par, or they're coming off the injured list and clearly not 100% right. I would say the offensive struggles have certainly surprised me, but these bullpen struggles were not hard to foresee early in the season.
When you look at the landscape of the National League, Brewers, obviously they have been red hot on fire, number one seed right now. Where would you put the Padres in the pecking order in the National League at this moment?
Yeah, I think I would put them probably third behind the Brewers and Phillies. That said, I think the margins are very, very, very thin. I think you have a lot of really, really good, talented teams in the National League, and any of them could emerge out of there, and you wouldn't say it's a shock or a surprise. And as poorly as the Dodgers are playing, I think you put them in this bucket too. And I would also, add the Cubs. I mean, there are just so many talented teams in the NL. It's such a better league than the AL that I think as long as you're in that group of, top five, you can kind of mix and match them in any order you want. And there's probably an argument for it.
Kyle, do you expect any drama this weekend when you think about how this season series has gone and the bench is clearing and the back and forth between Dave Roberts and Mike Shildt? Will that carry over or not?
I will say that there always seems to be at least one tense moment in every series between these two teams. Now, it's not always, benches clearing incidents, not always, fans throwing things on the field, but there always seems to be at least one or two tense moments. Maybe it's a pitch high and tight and, a little bit of a stare down. I'm sure we will see the emotion come out at some point. That said, neither of these teams is going to do something stupid, get into a beanball war where, they face having multiple pitchers being, suspended here down the stretch. Every game at this point is just so critical, especially, the head-to-head matches between these two teams. No one's going to do something stupid and get themselves suspended.
What have you made of Fernando Tatis Jr.'s play of late?
First of all, he's been great defensively, and I think we need to give him credit for that even throughout his offensive struggles, he did not carry those struggles back out into the field with him, so I want to give him credit for that. Look, I mean, it's been a very up and down offensive season, right? He was great in April, terrible in May and June. He was quietly really good again in July, slumped a little bit to start the month here, and then, have had some good games. I think the fact we are seeing him string together, a lot of multi-hit games. He's on a 5-game hitting streak. 4 of them have been multi-hit games. That's really, really, really good. I know the power has not been there to the level that people want it to be. But at the end of the day, if he's not striking out, he's making consistent contact, the power will come. He's not striking out a ton. I think he's getting on the right track offensively, and he's been great defensively. So he's not a guy that I think is deserving of some of the criticism he's getting from Padres fans.
Kyle Glazer, Friar Territory, with us right now on Jon and Jim. Comparing last year's team, Kyle, that had that awesome run, the Padres in the second half, 43-19, swept through Atlanta, played well enough to have a series lead against the Dodgers. How does 2025's version right now of the Padres compare to what we saw when they were playing so well there at the end of 2024?
I will say the 2025 team is getting closer to where the 2024 team was. You guys asked me this question a few weeks ago, and at the time, Dylan Cease was struggling. Obviously didn't have Joe Musgrove. Yu Darvish was still coming back, so they weren't at that level. Now with Dylan Cease pitching well, Darvish back rounding into form, and the fact that they have fixed all their holes in the lineup and all their trade acquisitions are making an immediate impact. I know Ryan O'Hearn's numbers aren't great, but he's having great at-bats and making hard contact. The numbers are going to come. I think that there is no question this Padres team is capable of playing around the level of that 2024 team, whether they match it, whether they are right up against it. I think that's a little bit eye of the beholder, but I will say they are better equipped now. And right in this moment, the caliber of baseball they are playing, yeah, it's very similar to what we saw last year.
Could you envision saying that Dylan Cease might be the best trade that wasn't made by AJ Preller at the deadline, or the best trade that, could have happened, but it ended up not happening because he's pitched pretty well since, the trade deadline here with the Padres?
Yeah, I mean, I think you could say it's not surprising in the sense that this is Dylan Cease. It seemed really, really improbable he was going to have an ERA up around 5 for the entire year. You saw the strikeout stuff was still there. He wasn't walking guys. He just needed to mix his pitches a little more, be a little more on the attack, try and get some of those early count outs. It was all fixable stuff. I think the frustration was he just wasn't fixing it. We've seen him fix these last 2 starts. So I'm not going to sit here and say it's a huge shock that he's performed the way he has. I would say it was a little bit overdue, but better late than never. And the Padres certainly are benefiting from it.
Kyle, appreciate it. It's going to be as entertaining as it gets for this time of year. First place on the line in the NLS from Dodger Stadium. Padres and Dodgers renewing their rivalry tonight under the lights in LA. We appreciate you doing it. As always, we'll do it again soon, all right?
Sounds good. Anytime, guys.
All right, great stuff from Kyle Glazer, Friar Territory. Again, Ryan Klesko is on the show coming up at 5 p.m. I'm ready.
I'm ready too.
Now. I mean, we're 3 hours out. It's like we've talked about this for 3 days.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Oh, I'm ready too.
So I'll see you tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of the show.
You know what's funny is earlier this morning, excuse me, I had a couple Dodgers fans put me into on X, they have you can add people to lists.
Yeah, it could be like a list like Padres beat writers. And then people create lists so they can see everything coming from a Padres beat writer. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, and it shows up on your feed you've been added to
a
this list.
Like San Diego sports media list.
Yeah. I've been added to a bunch of lists. I don't even realize
sports, it. Right. San Diego, this, that, the other. Yep.
And this morning I had some Dodger fan add me to a list. I can't even say what the list name is on radio.
So an offensive name list.
Yeah, an offensive name list. And I looked at it and I was like, interesting. So then what I did is I made my own list and I added him to it. And he's the only person added to it.
He's the only person in your list.
The only person in my list.
Is it an offensive name as well?
No, it's just idiot Dodger fan.
Idiot Dodger fan. There's one person in it. It's this guy that added you to an offensive names list.
Yeah. And so
I like that.
Then I just see my notifications blank here. And he added me again to another list I can't say on the radio.
Are you the only person in that list?
I'm the only person on that list too.
Can't you get yourself out of a list? There's got to be a way.
I don't think so. I can try.
I mean,
lists,
there's got to be a way to remove yourself, right?
It shows me what. Hold on. Yeah, I don't know, dude.
I wouldn't be.
Oh wait, list you're on. Yeah, let's go to here. Oh, he just added me again. That's funny. Let's see here.
Your mentions are gonna be in hell, by the way, if the Padres.
Yeah, I can't
lose to that.
I can only report a list or block something.
What are your mentions going to look like tonight if the Padres don't win?
It's probably not going to be pretty, but you know what? The funny thing is, I just don't care.
The thing is, I stay out of it by and large. Jim interacts way more with it than I do, but I'm all here for it because I can just look at your mentions and it's usually not pretty.
Oh, it's not pretty.
It's not pretty.
No, I just don't care. I find it entertaining.
Remember that whole. It is entertaining. It's 100% entertaining.
But look, I put myself in this position, and you
asked for it.
I asked for it for sure,
and
100%.
You get it.
Oh yeah.
All right, we'll get to the wrap on the other side. If you missed Mike Ferrin, MLB Network Radio, you will hear from him at 4:30. Ryan Klesko, the ex-Padre, will join us at 5 p.m. He's managing in the Dick's All-American Classic this Sunday at 5 p.m. at Petco Park. We'll get his thoughts on Padres and Dodgers here until 6 on Jon and Jim. I think Ryan Klesko may join us at 4:30. Now he's managing this weekend at Petco in this high school All-American Classic, the Dick's All-American Classic. Sunday at 5, you can go for free, by the way, to Petco. So I think they're working out maybe right now. His team, they've got a scrimmage. We were at a scrimmage last night. We'll get to actually the wrap coming up in a moment. But Ryan Klesko will join us. It'll either be at 4:30 or 5. So stay tuned for Ryan Klesko. Also, if you missed Mike Ferrin, you'll hear our conversation with MLB Network Radio's Mike Ferrin coming up as well. But right now, let's get to this. Not right now, but in a moment, we're going to get to the wrap.
A couple seconds.
That's right. Momentarily, we're going to get to the wrap.
In a couple seconds.
Just a second.
Or 2.
Could be a few seconds. Just relax.
Or 3.
It's time for the wrap. Presented by Sombrero Mexican Food. Check out their website at sombreromex.com.
You guys trust Michael King to look like the Michael King of this October?
I don't know, because I need to see Michael King back on a mound in September.
To look like that in October.
Yeah, I mean, we've only seen 2 innings out of him since May 18th, so I'm going to need to see it from him in September to feel confident to see it him in October. Just get healthy, because his stuff looked fine. He just couldn't control it. Like he was rusty.
Yeah, rusty.
But the velocity was there, the movement was there, everything was there except for his location.
He just spoke with the media, and he's on the IL. He says his left knee bothered him for the past few weeks. I probably just pushed it a little bit hard in the ramp up. King added that he received an MRI, did not show structural damage to his knee. He's hopeful he can return against Seattle late August. I'm hopeful I can bench 225. I'm hopeful I can bench 135. I think I can do one. Maybe. Next question.
Will Fernando Tatis Jr. hit a homer this weekend?
I mean, he owns that dump. I'm going to say yes. I think this weekend he's going to get his first home run. If anything, I'm just trying in a while. I'm just trying to speak this into existence.
Right.
Like he's going to hit another home run the rest of the season, right?
In his career, he should.
He should.
Yeah, I'm expecting that.
What better weekend to do it than this weekend at Dodger Stadium, where he owns that place?
Okay, so I'm looking it up. 942 lifetime OPS at Dodger Stadium, 12 home runs.
Yeah, he's good there.
12 home runs at Dodger Stadium is more than he has hit at any visiting ballpark. 12 home runs at Dodger Stadium. Hit one this weekend, Tony. I would love to see one this weekend from Fernando Tatis Jr. Next question.
Would you want the Padres and Dodgers to meet again in the playoffs?
I mean, look. Nothing I love more than content.
Right.
And that would be just like chef's kiss. Like, it'd be juicy. And to win a first World Series for the Padres, to have to go through the Dodgers and actually go through the Dodgers to do it would be just a cherry on top. It'd be perfect. But maybe in a couple years I might think differently. Like, enough is enough. But look, I always welcome epic drama. So yeah, sure, why not?
I don't see a reason why. Listen, for the Padres to win a World Series, they're gonna have to be good teams, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's the Dodgers or Milwaukee, Philadelphia, someone in the American League. I mean, there's a lot of good teams in baseball, and the Padres are included. So, whatever the path is fine, because obviously to win a championship, the paths can be challenging. So they'll be put through a challenge to get there, and if it includes the Dodgers, I'm completely fine with it. It only enhances what we've seen over the last handful of years in this rivalry. Next question.
What did you make of the Aztecs in their scrimmage last night?
Yeah, Jim, you were there for the entirety of it.
I was there for a good portion of it.
Where were you, by the way?
I was on the south end zone.
When we walked out to 50, did you go left or right?
I went right.
Okay, because that's where your car was, right out there.
Yeah, that's the south end zone, right?
I have no idea.
Well, because the stadium,
how do you know anything about north, south, east, west with the stadium? That shocks me. Do you have a compass or something?
Well, I'm just like the end zone by the supporter section and the student section. That's the north end zone.
How do you know that?
Because it's facing north.
How do you know when sun? Like, I never know when I'm facing north. Is that just me? If it's nighttime and the sun is out, how on earth do I know north, south, east, west? I need a clue. Tell me. How do I know that?
Where does the sun set?
If it's nighttime.
Oh, it's nighttime.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know where the sun was.
There's this thing called a North Star.
So I'm supposed to look to the North Star? How do you seriously?
Or use your phone?
Someone put it in the
use
comments.
your phone as a compass.
That's too easy.
That's why we have it.
Is there a compass on the phone? So the compass will tell me right now where I'm pointing?
Yeah. My guess is
we're pointing
north.
Kind of northish.
Yeah. My guess is if you are facing that
this
way,
it's due north, dude.
Yeah, it's north.
How'd you know that?
Because if you drive to LA, where are you driving? You're driving up north. So the end zone at Snapdragon Stadium
is pointed towards LA?
Is pointed up north. That means the other end zone is the south end zone.
I thought they looked good at the scrimmage. We saw Jaden Danigal. We saw Bert Emanuel Jr. We saw their defense on display.
Like, am I wrong?
I have no idea.
Do they
what
not
you're talking
call it
about.
the south end zone or the
I'm
north
sure
end
they
zone?
do. I just don't. It's never been my strength to know which is what.
Okay.
Anyway, Jaden Danigal looks the part.
I saw him complete his first pass, and I said, "This guy is like the greatest thing since Michael Vick in college."
Exactly. I mean, listen, they have they've upgraded in terms of having veteran experience under center. I mean, Danny O'Neill, you couldn't be anything than a true freshman. That wasn't his fault. He didn't have college experience, but this is Jaden Danigal's fourth year. I think this is Bert Emanuel Jr.'s fourth year in college. So you got some guys that have, been around a little bit. So they have some of that experience that maybe Danny O'Neill was lacking, some of that size as well. So it's only a scrimmage. But he didn't. I mean, you saw he looked the part.
Yeah.
He did look the part. If you were there last night, you would agree that he absolutely looked the part.
Yeah, you need a quarterback with size. You need a quarterback with arm strength. And that's what Jaden Danigal has that Danny O'Neill didn't. By the way, if you just face towards water is west.
Yeah, but what if I'm not if I'm in Mission Valley, where the heck is the water? I know the water's in the west.
What do I do if I'm in Poway? Do you know how to get there? You just you not know direction.
Follow the sun?
No, not follow the sun. Well, I guess you could follow the sun, but
then what would you do? I mean, the highway says like go west or east. How would you get if I was stuck on the side of a road with a stick, a walking stick? I would have no clue to get anywhere. No clue at all. I'd be dead. Ryan Klesko, the ex-Padre, he will join us on the other side. This is Jon and Jim. All right, hey guys, it is Jon and Jim again for the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, and now open. We've been telling you about it, the hotel and spa at Jamul Casino Resort. It's the next level of luxury. It's arrived. You can treat yourself to a stunning new stay. They've got rooftop relaxation, indulgent spa treatments, all the thrills of Jamul Casino Resort, now all in one unforgettable destination.
And savor San Diego's ultimate endless dining experience at the all-new Jamul 23. From their world-famous lobster brunch served every morning to the VIP endless dining experience each evening. Indulgent chef-curated specialties, fresh seafood, prime cuts, and decadent desserts, all with stunning panoramic views.
Yeah, you'll love their food. Tony Gwynn Sports Pub has everything you could possibly want. You can watch all the sports action, MLB, upcoming NFL, college football, whatever it is. You'll love the food over there as well at Tony Gwynn Sports Pub, a part of the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the Players' Place.
This update's brought to you by Rapid Radios. We'll start with the Padres. They start a 3-game series up in LA tonight against the Dodgers. Padres have a 1-game lead over the Dodgers for first place in the National League West. Clayton Kershaw is on the mound for the Dodgers tonight against Wandy Peralta, who will make the start tonight for the Padres after Michael King was put on the 15-day IL with left knee inflammation yesterday afternoon, as Randy Vasquez has been recalled to the 26-man active roster. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever, perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
All right, getting you ready for Padres and Dodgers, and joined right now by a former Padres All-Star, Ryan Klesko. He's going to be managing in the Dick's All-American Classic. It's this Sunday, 5 p.m., Petco Park. It is a premier high school baseball game put on by Perfect Game. Attendance free. First 1,000 fans get a free poster with all the players on it. You can enter at the home plate gate at Petco. Even an autograph opportunity with these Major League Baseball legends as well. And more information, as we've been telling you all week long, is available at pgallamerican.com. That's pgallamerican.com. Ryan, we appreciate you joining us here on San Diego Sports 760 with Jon and Jim. How much are you looking forward to this, managing this weekend up against Trevor Hoffman's team?
This is great, man. It's good to be back and, San Diego and the old stomping grounds. And, I'm from SoCal, so it's great to be here. And a lot of really, really talented kids. Some of these kids I've kind of coached against since I've been 11, 12 years old. So I'm excited for them. It's some really amazing talent.
Now, you coached in the Futures game earlier this summer. What was that experience like for you?
It's great. These kids are so good nowadays. They're honing their skills. The nutrition and the speed and agility and the weight work they're doing in earlier ages is really helping them. And it's just, I tell you what, they're more mindful of what they eat and put in their bodies. The training is so great nowadays. The technology of the pitching machines and the mechanics and stuff. It's just amazing to see how well. I mean, we're seeing these guys. You're probably going to see several guys touch close to 100 miles an hour or over 100 miles an hour tomorrow.
Which is just incredible.
That's crazy, yeah.
All right, so Ryan Klesko with us right now. Again, an all-star with the Padres back in 2001. How much are you still paying attention, Ryan? Like, there's this huge Padres series, right? This weekend, Padres.
I pay attention all the time.
Okay.
I tell you what, they've been great. Hunter got to come in the clubhouse and hang out with Machado and all those guys, and so I try to get back every year. We spend some time down here, but I tell you what, we follow and pull for them, and it's great. I don't get back there as much as I'd like to, but maybe one day. My son's begged me to move back here.
Yeah, once you leave San Diego, everyone's like, we need to get back to San Diego.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What's it like? And again, Ryan Klesko's with us. What's it like from your seat to watch what Padres Dodgers has become?
It's been crazy. I remember all back in the days. I mean, Padres, Dodgers, it's just craziness, the fans and the rivalry. It just amplifies. It seems like every year. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's going to be an amazing weekend here. First place is on the line. When you look at this game this week in the Perfect Game premiere, what are some players that, if fans go out there to watch, should be looking for in this game that might be standouts this weekend?
You got some former guys that played in the Major League. It's got their sons here. You got Ben Sheets' son. You've got George Lombard's son, which played in the Braves organization. Keon Johnson, which I've trained a little bit with him since he's been like 10, 11, 12 years old. It's, a lot of these guys are going to be probably future first, second, third round picks in the MLB draft. There's so much talent out here. It's unlimited. How it's just amazing. We were just talking with, I don't know if you know of all the major leaguers here. Mo Vaughn's here, Scotty Erickson's here, Mark Loretta's here, Trevor, amongst Phil Nevin's here with us. We're just sitting there talking like, man, how good are these kids? Do you remember being this good at this age and being able to hit that ball that far and throw it that hard? We're like, no way.
It really is amazing.
Crazy, yeah.
I mean, and you can watch all these kids.
Said he didn't hit a home run. He didn't even hit home runs until he was like got past into the minor leagues. These kids are hitting them into the seats. Like right now, my son was out here today, and he's 16, about ready to be 17. So he got to hit on the field, hit a couple out. So it's amazing to see my son go through it and kind of see the process. And some colleges are calling him and stuff. So he's wanting to go. He hasn't got any calls for San Diego or UCSD or San Diego State, but man, I tell you what, he would jump at a chance to come play out here.
Hey, maybe we got to make.
John knows a few people.
I mean, I call games for San Diego State, so I think we can make that connection. Certainly happen for you.
100%. Will you do that for me? And that'd be great. He's itching to get down here. He hasn't got any calls from any Southern California schools, but he's had some other schools reach out to him. And but it's a fun process. And man, I tell you what, they're out here working right now, and it's going to be fun. I tell you what, if you want to see a lot of the future MLB stars at an early age, definitely Sunday's the time to come out here and even watch some batting practice. Open tomorrow for batting practice, the home run contest.
Okay, so it's interesting you mentioned that your son has hit some balls out at Petco. Wasn't the initial gripes about Petco was the ballpark size, right? How big that outfield was. Now it's changed. Those dimensions have changed over the years. What was it like as a hitter when Petco debuted?
Brutal. We came out here and tested it, and we were not happy. And obviously, when it's a warmer day today, you don't have a lot of the fog and the June gloom and stuff. But I tell you, when the night game happens, that ball starts to die. It does it at Dodger Stadium. It does it in San Francisco. It does it here. The ball seems to carry a little bit during the day, but once it warms up. But I know they've moved the fences in several times since we played. It was a tough place to hit home runs in. But you know what? We had some great runs and had some great teammates. So I was just happy to be able to play here and come back home and play in San Diego for all those years.
Looking back on your runs, when you talk about the Padres making runs early in the 2000 or the mid 2000s and the late 1998. For you, when you were in the Padres organization and here in San Diego, what are some favorite memories that you have in a Padres uniform?
I remember back playing in the area code games and looking back at some of the teammates. We had, I believe at one time, it was me, Loretta, Nevin, Kotze, Hoffman. We had a Southern California team that we would see each other in these area code games at 16, 17, 18 years old, and we ended up becoming teammates. We surfed on our off days. Bochy would get in the water for us. We had a bunch of our guys surfing. We had a very heavy SoCal team that actually played together young. So that was really cool to me. I really enjoyed that.
That's really unique. What's it like all these years later? Like you said, all these guys that are in town right now, you've got Phil Nevin, you've got Loretta, you have Trevor Hoffman. What's it like when former teammates get back together?
It's great. Just talking about the old times. I think, like you say, most people don't really miss the competition as much. We kind of over that, but just missing seeing the guys and hanging out and telling stories and be able to hang out in the clubhouse and spending so much time. I mean, we spent years together. We probably spent more time with each other than their own families half the time during the season. So there's a big camaraderie there, and baseball players in general just get along. They're good guys for the most part, and we love seeing each other. We didn't really have a whole lot of bad seeds.
No, it doesn't sound like you guys all stayed, in touch and close throughout the year. So that's a great thing to hear, especially if you're a Padres fan. You like to see former Padres players all keep in touch and hanging out over the years. This weekend, though, you're coaching on the other side of Trevor Hoffman. We talked to Trevor earlier this week. He said, yeah, Klesco might be making me do push-ups on the sideline here if there's any wagers going on. Is there a text chain for this weekend, or what's going on there?
Well, we're obviously competitors and we want to win, beat each other. But when it comes down to it, it's about these players. And I told them, I said, look, guys, you got Trevor Hoffman over there on that side. I'm over here on this side. So go out there and enjoy there's probably got to be close to 100 years of Major League service with Phillips and Nev and Denard Span is here. Enjoy it, but pick their brains. Find a way to spend some time with major leaguers and get better, because these kids are really good. And we know this game's mental, right? A lot of it's mental. So any way we can help these young guys get to the next level is a plus in our book.
Well, you can get out there this weekend and see it all. It's the Dick's All-American Classic, Sunday at 5 at Petco Park. Perfect Game's premier game. Some of the top high school players in the country. Attendance is free, and all the information at pgallamerican.com. Ryan, we appreciate you taking time for us. I'm sure it's great to be back in San Diego. We appreciate it, and have a great time this weekend.
Yes, sir. Put a good word on us over there at San Diego for us.
All right, we will. Your son is Hunter, right? Hunter Klesco?
Yes, sir. Yes,
all
sir.
Right. All right, I can start that. I'll get your contact information from Greg Castriano. We'll put a text chain together.
Sounds great. Thank you, guys.
All right, thanks, Ryan. All right, so we got a son to San Diego State. Well, San Diego State still would have to maybe offer him a scholarship.
But you know a few people, right?
Yeah, we can make that. Did he say it was him or his son who wants to be on scholarship?
Maybe both. No, not Ryan. Obviously, it's his son Hunter. So, let's make it happen. Get him here to San Diego. I do love hearing from former Padres players. And Padres fans have to love this, right? Players that were on good teams, or they were good players maybe on bad teams. Those players stick out to Padres fans. Like Ryan Klesko,
right?
He's a name that Padres fans know and remember. And the fact that the players that he named, with us, and how they've all kept in touch, and they all talk to each other, and they know about their lives and everything, like that's pretty cool. And how they all came up together, Southern California boys, and
super cool.
Then they all became teammates, right? It's like that's pretty cool to hear and see.
Would you take this year right now in this lineup? Okay, 0-1.
Yeah.
923 OPS, 30 homers, 113 RBIs, 23 steals, back when stealing was hard. A 4.6 WAR.
Yeah, I would take it.
Yeah, I'd take that year.
Yeah,
I mean, he had some gaudy years.
Yeah,
and in both Atlanta and San Diego.
Just imagine if the dimensions of Petco weren't as bad as they were.
Well, this was pre-Petco, but yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, like when he got to Petco, but pre-Petco, Qualcomm. Still, I mean, Qualcomm wasn't easy to hit there either.
I mean, 278 career home runs, 870 career OPS.
I know.
That's a good hitter. And the names he met, there were some damn good hitters, right, on the Padres in those late 90s, early 2000s days. All right, if you missed Mike Ferrin, MLB Network Radio, we'll have that for you coming up at 5 p.m. We are here until 6. We're getting you ready for the Padres and the Dodgers. We'll hear from Mike Shildt coming up as well. Here until 6 on Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760, and live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, we're gonna hear from Mike Shildt. Fernando Tatis Jr. has spoken in the clubhouse with the media, and we're going to share that with you coming up momentarily. If you missed Mike Ferrin, MLB Network Radio on this upcoming series, you'll hear that coming up at 5 p.m. What a week here on Jon Jim. All these MLB legends. Good to connect with Ryan Klesko.
Love talking to Ryan Klesko, man.
Get out to Petco Sunday night. That's after Padres Dodgers will be over Sunday at 5 for that perfect game All-American showcase down at Petco Park.
If you love baseball, I mean, Sunday is just, I mean, the best day because you can watch Padres Dodgers at like a bar downtown and then walk right into Petco for free. You heard Ryan Klesko with us. You know how many former major leaguers are going to be in the building?
You can get autographs.
It's not just the 5 that we talked to today. It's like so many more that are very well-known former major leaguers. So, if you love baseball and you want to see some Padres greats of the past, go to Petco after Sunday's afternoon game, Padres Dodgers, and watch some baseball for free at Petco. Like, dude, sign me up.
Yeah, Mike Ferrin said there's going to be a ton of players that are going to be like high picks in the upcoming drafts. And you mentioned the players: Trevor Hoffman, Ryan Klesko, Mark Loretta, Phil Nevin, Mo Vaughn, Jose Contreras, Flash Gordon, Mike Sweeney, Denard Span. I mean, just tons of guys will be out there this weekend. It's at Petco Park. More info, pgallamerican.com.
It's funny that the former players that we talked to this week, and we asked them about some players, they all mentioned like Ben Sheets' kid.
Yeah, they did mention that. You're right.
So,
that's come up multiple times.
This kid might be a stud.
Apparently.
So,
all right, let's hear from Toddy. All right, this is in the clubhouse with the media. About 45 seconds or so. This was just moments ago.
When Dave Roberts managed you in the All-Star game, did you guys have a conversation as to why he keeps hitting, why the pitchers keep hitting you?
No, we just talked some really good baseball conversation. That was about it. But, we're professionals in there, and, we have just good conversation about baseball, and, everybody just in a good spot.
You fans were like a hype for the Dodgers game, like a playoff kind of fever.
Yeah. I feel like everybody can feel it, and everybody knows what's going to go out, and I feel like everybody who's watching baseball right now is going to be watching that game.
How much do you enjoy playing here? I mean, you hit one out before. Does it bring out the best in you?
I'm just trying to win a baseball game.
Just trying to win a baseball game.
So funny.
Just trying to win a baseball game.
He's like smiling and
doesn't it feel like? I mean, this is going to sound weird because there's like 40 games remaining, but it feels like the playoffs and playoff game feels starts tonight. Like every game is going to feel like a playoff game because every win and every loss now is going to feel huge because of where they're at in the standings and their, goals and hopes of winning an NL West. Like one game lead here, they're going to make the postseason. Like that's what I'm not worried about. But I do feel like the remainder of the season, every game is going to feel huge.
It just reminds me when I was younger, when every single Red Sox-Yankees game would be like 4 hours and 22 minutes. That was a different world because there was no pitch clock.
Dude.
But every pitch had all this drama, and it was like May 19th. And it was Sunday Night Baseball, and the games would take 4:20.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen anymore, but this does feel like it matters more. It feels like the stakes are higher. At the end of the day, you beat the Marlins or you beat the Dodgers, one win. Same thing with the loss. But yeah, it's going to feel different. You can already see it when Tatis walks up to the batter's box. You hear the boos. They get louder when Manny Machado comes up. The certain sounds of Petco or Dodger Stadium, right? Like you know everything that it entails, and I'm so excited for it. I really am, and I'm going to overreact to it. You're really going to overreact to it because if I'm saying I'll overreact to it, then you are going to obsessively overreact to it. Like if the Padres lose tonight 5-1, you'll say something in the wrap-up show that it will be dead wrong. Like, no, I can't. I'll walk you down the path for you to be like,
I know you.
Yeah, like they can't beat the dot. Like they can't win the World Series. Like that's one game.
I'm not going to say that.
But if they win tonight, you're going to be like, how can they not win the World Series?
I might say that.
No, you won't.
No, I won't. I won't go to the extremes. I mean, it will be disappointing
if they don't win tonight.
Yeah, you can be disappointed about things and still not go to the extreme of like, season's over, right?
It doesn't seem like this game screams like dominant Padres win on paper, but they don't play these things on paper, and the Padres have been really good. But like Kershaw, I think his last two starts has been great. He's got a 3-1 this year. and Wandy Peralta, your spot starter opener.
And nothing screams a big game like Wandy Peralta starting for you.
I mean, it doesn't scream like, hey, this is the night where the Padres are going to take command of the NL West. But they, honestly, the way they're playing, I don't doubt them. Like, I can't doubt the Padres. I have confidence in them. Again, I look at the pitching match. I'm like, we'll see. But the way they're playing, it's hard to really be doubting of them.
Look, if you go 4-2 over these 6 games against the Dodgers this next 2 weeks here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by the way, Giants are sandwiched in there as well.
Right.
4-game series. Like, say you go 4-2 against the Dodgers.
Okay.
3-1 against the Giants.
That's what, 7-3.
7-3. And you'd be 21-6 in your last 27.
Right. Be pretty good.
You think?
At that point, you're.
But what I'm getting at is mostly with the Dodgers standpoint is if you go 4-2 against the Dodgers of the 6 games you play them in the next week here, like you're sitting really good going to the rest of the season, as long as you don't like slip up in the middle there against the Giants and lose 3 or 4.
Yeah, you're putting a lot of pressure on them.
Yeah,
because
100%.
especially with playing the Rockies and the White Sox and some of these lower division teams, so to speak, it's not like you have to still go on a 10-game road trip through Milwaukee, Philadelphia, and Citi Field. Bad example, they've been awful. Yeah. But you get the point. Like that doesn't still exist. They have among the easier schedules in baseball once you get done with the Dodgers. Yeah. I say the same about the Dodgers. They have among the easiest schedules in baseball once they get done with the Padres.
I just think looking at both of these teams, the biggest difference in these teams to me is the bullpen.
Right.
I think the bullpen for the Dodgers is very hittable. Like they're very gettable. They are piecing it together. It feels like every night. They don't have like a defined role set out where they know, all right, this guy's in the 9th inning. Tanner Scott, he's not been good for them this year. Their bullpen ERA as a team is in the mid-4s. Padres bullpen right now is like the best in baseball. It's in the mid-2s. So I think that could decide things in the end, at the end of the season, is the fact that the Padres bullpen is just that much better than the Dodgers bullpen.
And the great point from, was it Mike Ferrin or Kyle Glazer? It might have been Kyle that said, I forget who said it, like the game has changed. I mean, bullpens are so heavily used, more so than ever in the history of the sport.
It was Kyle.
Yeah, bullpens have never been used like this. And we've seen that with our own eyes. I mean, it's not rocket science. Look at postseasons. There's never been starters have never been used with less length than now in the history of baseball in postseasons. The average starter gets 12 outs in a postseason game. 25 years ago, that's laughable. Starters were going 4 innings 25 years ago. Now you get 4 innings out of your starter in a postseason game, and you turn it over to like Jeremiah Estrada, who's throwing 100 miles per hour and striking everyone out. And you turn it over to Mason Miller, who's throwing 105 miles per hour. So just like the rules of engagement have changed in baseball. Hopefully the Padres have taken advantage of that.
Dude, if you're Mason Miller, how exciting is it to know that you've been injected into the best rivalry in the sport and you're not playing for basically a minor league franchise?
Yeah, you talk about night and day.
I mean, you're actually playing for something. He's going to be so amped. Like
he might throw 110. He might hit 200 tonight.
200.
He's going to throw 200 miles per hour.
He's going to throw 200 with a 104 changeup.
That'd be amazing. All right. On the other side, if you miss Mike Ferrin, MLB Network Radio, great conversation with Mike about the importance of this weekend at Dodger Stadium as the Padres and Dodgers square off. The first of 3 is tonight at 7:10. We're here until 6 p.m. You're going to hear from MLB Network Radio's Mike Ferrin. On the other side, we'll hear from Mike Shildt in the 5 o'clock hour as well. This is Jon Jim on San Diego Sports 760 and live on the iHeartRadio app.
This update's brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Padres Dodgers start a 3-game series in LA tonight. Padres, of course, leading the National League West by 1 game over the Dodgers. 7:10 first pitch. Clayton Kershaw on the mound for the Dodgers. Wandy Peralta getting the start tonight for the Padres, as Michael King was expected to start tonight, but he was placed on the 15-day IL yesterday with left knee inflammation. Randy Vasquez has been recalled to the active 26-man roster. Progressive Insurance can help you protect your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, ATV, and RV, and more. If something wasn't mentioned that you had in mind, find out if it can be covered at progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE, because it probably can.
Previously on Jon and Jim.
What does it take once you get to October? Because I'm not as worried about August and September, truthfully. I'm putting them in the postseason. I'm not as concerned about the seed. I'm concerned about how do they navigate October, and what does Michael King mean for October, not September.
Yeah, I'm concerned about the health of this team, making sure that no other key pieces go down to injury. I'm still, looking at the here and now, and winning the division is definitely goal number 1. It's got to be.
Now live from the studios of San Diego Sports 760, Jon and Jim.
All right, San Diego and Southern California was going on. Final hour of Jon and Jim for the week, and we're just getting started for this weekend series between the Padres and the Dodgers. It gets underway at 7:10. We'll hear from Mike Shildt. We hope to, coming up this hour, his pregame conversation with the media. But if you missed it, Mike Ferrin, great baseball voice on MLB Network Radio. We started the conversation asking him about 2 teams trending in different directions. Padres winners of 5 straight, Dodgers losers of 4 straight. How does he see the NOS playing out?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's listen, I think this is super exciting. I think it's really fun that we have a race. I think it's fun that these 2 teams will meet the next 2 weekends. The atmosphere at Dodger Stadium is going to be great this weekend. I think obviously the atmosphere at Petco next weekend is going to be insane. It's how do I think it's going to play out? I mean, I think the Padres are a good team, and I kind of been saying that to you guys all year, right, going into the offseason. So I don't know that I could have predicted that they would have erased a 9-game deficit and have a lead going into this series. But I certainly think that they'll play well from here down the stretch. And I think it's a race between those 2 teams. I don't think the Dodgers are going to give anything away. I think there were some signs offensively for them that were real positives in the Blue Jays series. They scored runs in the Angels series. They just didn't pitch all that well. The question is whether or not their starters are going to be okay, and whether or not they get some bullpen help here. And I think, listen, I think the rotation is a little bit more of a question for the Padres right now with King out. I mean, not that it was, he was perfect in his first start back, but I think it's going to be really interesting to watch how this plays out over the last 40 games, because I think the Padres have a real chance to win the division.
We had you on before the trade deadline. Did you expect Preller to do that at the trade deadline? And what do you make of all the moves that he made to, bolster this team's roster?
Well, I mean, did I expect AJ to make moves? I think we talked about it, and I was like, I think he's going to do something. He's AJ, right? I don't think I saw Mason Miller coming. I'm not sure that anybody did, because he wasn't really available. I mean, they made him available because they traded Leo DeVries. To me, the 2 moves that were the biggest for him, and this is not to take anything away from Miller, who is immensely talented, were the trade with Baltimore and the trade with Kansas City. I mean, to get 2 basically everyday players in Laureano and O'Hearn, and a guy in O'Hearn in particular who knows the difference between a ball and a strike. I think we talked about that a couple months ago, maybe a month ago or so. But one of the issues this Padres team had was that they were a little more swing happy. There was a little more chase than a year ago. Mike Shildt talked about that. Like, Ryan O'Hearn's a great fit for that. And then I think Freddie Fermin is one of the more underappreciated players in baseball. He was catching a lot in Kansas City, but he was behind Sal Perez, who might end up in the Hall of Fame. And, Salvi was playing some first base and DHing, and a fair amount, actually. I thought the Fermin pickup was huge. So they remade, a third of their lineup in those pickups. It moved Gavin Sheets to a more appropriate role for him facing righties. It gave them better depth, and then add in, Miller and the pitching depth with Sears and Cortez. I thought it was a great deadline. I thought he did everything that he possibly could have to give this chance a team to win not just from now to the end of the season, but to be deep enough to handle short series in October.
Mike Ferrin, MLB Network Radio, with us right now on Jon and Jim. Speaking of October, because again, if you forecast ahead, I mean, you look at the percentage chances here. I mean, there's a very high likelihood the Padres are going to be in the postseason. It's more about their seeding. But you talked about Michael King. And last year, the Padres in October lost Joe Musgrove. I know it's only August. We might see King in 2 weeks. Maybe we won't. We shall see. But what is the impact from your perspective if they don't have a fully healthy Michael King and they're relying on the Pavettas and the Ceases and the Darvishes? And Pavetta's been terrific, but there's been some question marks with both Cease and Darvish, obviously, this year.
Yeah, well, Cease has been better of late, and I think the peripherals have been stronger than the results, all year. And Darvish, since lowering the arm slot, his last 3 starts have been pretty good overall. So I'm a little less concerned overall as long as they can keep that group healthy. If they get King back, great. But this was one of the reasons why I felt like it was so important for them to make the Miller move in the end. They've got 4 legitimate relievers, 4 guys that have been to all-star games that can cover, 5 innings in a playoff series. And that doesn't even count, like, David Morgan has thrown the hell out of the ball, right? Like, that's their 5th or 6th best reliever. And, like, that guy would be in an A-side bullpen on about half the teams in baseball. So, like the Dodgers showed us last year, you don't need to have dominant starting pitching to win. And I think that's one of the things that has been a tough adjustment for those of us who have followed baseball for years and had hammered home the importance of starting pitching in the postseason, is that we have been slow to adjust with the way the game is adjusted. And the game is adjusted to swing and miss pitching wins in October, and lineups that can grind out at bats, that don't chase and that can hit the ball out of the ballpark are the ones that are going to win. And I think that the chase is still a little bit of a concern for me with the Padres, but I think their lineup is certainly deeper, and they now have a number of swing and miss pitchers. They don't need to count on somebody going, 5, 6, 7 innings in order to win postseason games. There are a lot of different ways that you can win a postseason baseball game. The Dodgers were a great example of that. And I think the Padres, so long as they stay healthy, are lined up with a deeper and better bunch than what the world champions had a year ago on the mound.
On the Dodgers side of things, we've been talking about potentially some shenanigans this weekend to maybe get this team jump started because they're kind of in a rut, and maybe it's the best time this weekend to try to get this thing going for them is to play one of their rivals. What do you expect this weekend? Any fireworks like we saw last time when these two teams played in June?
I mean, if there are, it's not going to be premeditated. Like Billy Martin doesn't exist anymore, right?
Right.
So, like, that stuff's not going to happen going into it. If there are, it's going to be from the intensity of the way the series is played. And generally, I feel like that stuff will happen if, I do think that some of it, listen, the Padres, I think, had a beef. I think both sides were upset with each other, obviously, but Tatis has been hit a lot. But, like, if one team is winning 5 out of 6 and somebody gets hit, the losing tends to make feelings hurt a little bit more, right? So I don't expect any shenanigans, at least as it's pre-planned. I don't think, judging from the Dodgers comments, they still think the Padres are a cute little team, right? Like, Aaron Kershaw was like, he's like, I don't really think about them, which is what you would expect the favorite to do, right? Like, they're the Dodgers. Like, they don't really have a rival. They're in the playoffs every year. They're used to winning divisions by 10 games. And they also know, if we don't win the division, we at least get in the postseason and we've got a chance to win. So I don't think that there's going to be anything to it. I think it's far more personal from the San Diego side and from Padres fan side than it is from the Dodgers.
Mike, curious to get your thoughts on the job that Mike Shildt has done since getting here. And then specifically all the second half successes he's had in his career with St. Louis and with San Diego. But you think about where the Padres were as a franchise coming off 2023, all that disappointment, Bob Melvin out, Juan Soto gone, and the job Mike Shildt has done. What do you make of it?
I'm not surprised. I think Mike is a really good tactician. I think he is intense and tough, and I think sometimes that will rub some people the wrong way. But I also think he cares, I love Mike. I think he's a great baseball guy. He's a guy that has earned it. He never played professionally. He was a high school teacher who became like a bird dog scout, or became an area scout. I mean, he's earned everything that he's gotten, right? And he works really hard. And I think from that standpoint, and the fact that he just eats, sleeps, and breathes baseball, he's a tremendous match with AJ Preller. And I think because he hammers home a lot of those same points about, like, we need to execute at a high level where he doesn't let things go unturned. Nothing festers. It's like, hey, we got to do this today. We have to do this today. And that appropriate pressure that he puts on his guys is a reason why his teams have been so good in the second half. I made sure this got with you guys last time, but his teams win at a winning percentage in the second half after the All-Star break that would be the equivalent of a 103-win season. And that's remarkable to me. I mean, you think about that. That means that they're essentially winning 2/3 of their games historically after the All-Star break. They're really good. And it's because of the attention to detail, because of the way he's able to teach, the way his coaches, more importantly, are able to teach, and the way that guys are willing to buy in to get better, to know that these little things that the Padres didn't excel at for a long time, in terms of taking the extra base, making good base running decisions, making the routine play, those things that scouts noticed last year. They're not perfect this year either, but they're so much better than they were 2 years ago in that. And I think that's where Mike Shildt's impact is felt.
We were just talking about this, Mike. Tonight, coming off an off day, their bullpen's fully rested from the Padres side. Randy Vasquez, I think, likely is going to be the starter tonight. He's been more of a 4-inning pitcher this year. We were making the argument, I think they should treat this game tonight like almost like a must-win to make a statement. Do you agree with that from a Padres sense?
I think it's really hard to make statements with 40 games to go.
Okay.
Like I just think, from as much as it feels super important, right? On the road, Dodgers to feel like they're on the ropes, Padres are playing well, all of that. There is so much time left in the baseball season. We have a quarter of the games left. I don't know that it necessarily makes a statement. Like winning 5 out of 6 would make a statement for the Padres, because then they'd clinch the season series. But that's what they have to do to clinch the season series, right? So I think more than anything, I would look at it like this. You're going to do everything you can to win the game that's in front of you, and then worry about tomorrow. And that's the way I think that they will approach these games. But I don't know that that's all that dissimilar from the way that they approach the games anyway. It's, you're going to use the guys who are available to you tonight to try and win a game if you have a chance to, and then you reshuffle the deck tomorrow and see who's available.
You're so level-headed.
Yeah, but it's good perspective.
I know, right? It's really annoying.
And it's funny, you just reminded me that if the Padres don't win 5 of 6, that they will not have a tiebreaker, which is another interesting point in this, because this could very well come down to the final weekend of the regular season, potentially.
I mean, look at it. Listen, the reality is, the way that the National League is shaping up right now, these two teams could be in the wild card round really easily, regardless of who wins the division. The Brewers have a huge lead right now. What is it, 6 games for the best record?
Yeah.
Right. That's healthy. And the Phillies, record is pretty good too. And that's a good team. So I think that's an added dynamic to it, is that there's a chance that, let's say the Padres win the division, that they're hosting, the Mets or the Reds or whoever, and that the Dodgers are, as of right now, would have to go to Wrigley.
Yeah. I mean, there's even a world it's very
serious. And I know they're playing lousy, but that offense is going to click at some point again. They were not as good as they were for the first 2 months of the season. They're also not as bad as they've been for the last month. And so, this is being in those 3-game series is scary as hell. And the Dodgers haven't had to deal with that.
That's a great point. And there's even a world, I think it's unlikely, where the Padres and Dodgers meet in a wild card round. It's unlikely they're the 3 and the 6, but it is at least possible as we sit here today. Mike, love the perspective. Enjoy San Diego this weekend. We're going to be catching up, like I said, with Ryan Klesko, who's going to be managing in that All-American Classic at Petco Park Sunday at 5 p.m. But appreciate you doing it as always. We'll do it again soon, all right?
Yeah, guys. And if you get a chance to come out to that, I'm telling you, this 2026 prep class is loaded. And the top 2 position players in it, Grady Emerson and Jacob Lombard, who's George Lombard's son, the Tigers coach, are absolute studs. That game is free. Come to Petco on Sunday night, and you're going to see some of the top draft players for 26. It's going to be really good.
Love that. Sunday 5 info at pgallamerican.com. Appreciate it, Mike. We'll do it again soon, all right?
Thanks, Mike.
Yep, take care.
All right, that was from earlier, Mike Ferrin, MLB Network Radio. We hope to hear from Mike Shildt coming up. Don't try talking here. We hope to hear from Mike Shildt coming up. Jim, why did you ask Mike Ferrin? Why did you say Randy Vasquez was going to start? You sound like an idiot. We're kidding. This was from before we had Mike Ferrin on, before we knew that it was going to be Wandy Peralta. Right, Jim?
Yes, John.
Okay. We'll see if we can catch up with Mike Shildt. He's not going to call in, but his pregame comments with the media at Dodger Stadium.
Hold on, I got to talk to Jon and Jim real quick.
I don't think he's going to call in, but you never say never. Stay with us, Jon
We're
and
like
Jim.
banned from talking to any Padres player.
Stay with us, Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app. So this is the type of stretch that the Brewers are on. Jon and Jim. We'll hear from Mike Shildt hopefully coming up. So down 8-1 in Cincinnati. Finally, they're going to lose, right? I mean, they're just getting hammered in Cincinnati, right? That bandbox. It's 8-1. 20 minutes later, it's tied. From 8-1 down on the road, allowing a 7 spot in the second inning. In now the top of the 4th inning, they have tied the score with the Reds. It's 8-8. They were down 8-1. They're 76-44. They have played completely out of their minds, including tonight, apparently, from 8-1 down to tied.
Dude, the Brewers are like, I mean, I feel like they're inevitable right now. Like anything.
Yeah, it's crazy. You
that
thought
they
the
do,
Padres have played well.
Yeah, Brewers have played way better than the Padres.
It's insane.
The Padres are on a crazy stretch right now.
Yet somehow the Padres have made them no ground in Milwaukee in the overall National League race because Milwaukee just doesn't lose. It's 76-44. It's just insane. When we caught up with Mike Ferrin, he was like, listen, any seed is basically possible. He kind of discounted the 1 seed. I would do the same. You never say never. Play well. You look up. Maybe you're back in it. But other than the 1 seed, I could forecast 2, 3, 4, 5. Like 2, 3, 4, 5 is in there for the Padres and the Dodgers. Some combination of 2, 3, 4, 5 is very possible for both of those teams, and almost a guarantee. Some combination of those seeds.
Some combination. Ideally, like the number 1 seed is kind of what you want, right? But wouldn't be bad to get the 2 seed. Like you still get a playoff bye. You set up everything for the division round. You don't have to use 4 starters. You can deploy your bullpen as much as you want because of those off days.
That's right.
That it's like get to the division round and let your bullpen work, man. And you know, that's going to be the goal here because I feel like if that's the case, the team has a really good shot to make the NLCS.
Yeah, and listen,
long ways to go, though. Long ways to go.
And if we do
stay in the
look up,
moment,
if we do look up and they're in the NLCS, you're not gonna be like, oh darn it, they don't have home field. I mean, we saw them with home field. It's not the end all be all. You know what's the end all be all? Getting to an NLCS, like giving yourself a chance to play in that round would be incredible. But yeah, like you said, long way to go. Again, I think the more you look at what's happening in the National League, the more you're like, these teams are in. And that's what's changed with baseball. I never would have said that 20 years ago in August, the team is in the postseason. That's a game up or a game back. That was never the case. It was like 1 wild card. There were no wild cards. Now everything's changed. You have so many wild cards. When you play like this, like the Padres have played, they've put themselves basically in the postseason. Now it's like, can you win your first division in 20 years? Can you get the highest seed possible? And can you win in the postseason? But it's no longer about, we always said this, like, what's it going to take to get to the postseason? How often have we said in the middle of August, Padres are likely going to the postseason? It doesn't happen very often around here. It takes time typically.
Yeah, it feels like, right now the postseason making it is pretty much not a lock, but it feels close to it.
Feels good, yeah.
It feels good. You feel comfortable talking about this team in the postseason.
Yeah, exactly. I do.
Yeah, I do. I'm not sitting here being like, if they make the postseason,
it's not a jinx.
No.
Well.
There's no jinx there. They're you know it. We know it. They know it.
Yep.
They're a good team. You know they're a good team. We know they're a good team.
Right.
And they've played well enough to position themselves as a clear postseason team this year.
Right.
Nobody in baseball is talking about the Padres as maybe they make the postseason team. No, they're talking about their team in the postseason.
Yeah, like it's so funny because only like a month ago, there were people like, are they sellers? Right? Like, are they buyers and sellers?
And now they're just like, hey, like World Series contenders.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what does it take? It just feels like everyone in baseball has always been slow to react to the Padres in 2025. Doesn't it seem like that? It seems like not that they were an afterthought, but like never seen really as a front runner, never seen as playing from ahead until maybe now. I guess because the Dodgers have fallen off like this and people have started to recognize it. But it feels to me like it's taken a little long. They were 14-3 out of the gates. And then they were 14-3 heading into tonight.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, they're obviously for real. And now the question is how real in the postseason?
I think they can be very real. I think they can be very scary. They got to take care of business here. And there's still 40 games remaining in the season, 40 plus here. It's like, I said this the other day, we're even doing it right now, jumping to the postseason.
I know.
There's still so much time left. There's still so much good baseball to potentially play.
You're right.
And there's still so many good times ahead of this team potentially in the regular season.
Including tonight.
These games are going to be high intense games. They're going to be, fan bases are going to go back and forth. Social media is going to be an S show. Like, I can't wait, dude. I can't wait. The players, they know it. It's a playoff atmosphere, playoff vibe. And, I hope the Padres continue to play well like they've been playing, because you don't want to wake the Dodgers up, or at least get the Dodgers to wake up here.
I can't wait to hear the boos from the 9,000 Dodger fans in the stadium when Fernando Tatis Jr. comes to play.
That's how many Dodger fans are going to show up tonight? 9,000?
In the top of the first inning?
Oh, yeah, because they don't show up until like the third inning.
I bet all 9,000 will be booing in that top of the first inning. All right, we'll see if we can hear from Mike Shildt coming up. We have Jim's back page still ahead. We're here until 6. Padres and Dodgers on deck. This is Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760, and live on the iHeartRadio app.
All right, this update is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Padres and Dodgers tonight. Start a 3-game series up in LA, 7:10. First pitch. We have Wandy Peralta starting tonight for the Padres against Clayton Kershaw for the Dodgers. Michael King was supposed to start tonight, but he was placed on the 15-day IL with left knee inflammation yesterday afternoon. Randy Vasquez was recalled to the active roster. Progressive Insurance can help you protect your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, ATV, and RV, and more. And if something wasn't mentioned that you had in mind, find out if it can be covered at progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE, because it probably can be.
Well, we're not going to see Max Muncy this weekend. He's been placed on the IL.
Man, shucks.
Max Muncy, such a likable figure, has been placed on the IL. He has a grade 1 oblique strain.
Of any Dodger player in recent memory,
right?
He has the most punchable face, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, he's very unlikable. I think they have a lot of unlikable characters in this like 5-year war, so to speak. Like since both teams have been good, like since the Padres have not caught up, have been good. I feel like there's been a lot of like characters in this conversation. All right? Like Gratterall comes to mind, and all these guys. I mean, from like the Kershaw meme. I mean, there's been like a zillion examples of like the back and forth. But yeah, my point is Muncy would be towards the top of the list.
Give me your. Do you have?
Yeah,
if
like
I asked you,
3?
give me your top 3 most hated Dodgers, just for you personally.
You know who really rubs me the wrong way with his like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like the higher than thou, or what's the holier than thou?
Yeah.
Or like would be Will Smith.
Will Smith's a good one. Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, you can't go wrong here, anybody.
You can't go wrong.
Yeah.
Max Muncy makes everyone's top 3. I mean, he's obviously on your list. He could be at the top of it. Do I put Muncy ahead of Smith in that? Yeah, I might. I'm trying to think where I would go for my third because there's so many good options.
Does Dave Roberts count?
Yeah, I mean, Dave Roberts
can count.
Dave Roberts has to be in the top 3. He would have to be. I think those are the 3 for me. I think it would be Roberts, Will Smith, who to me is extremely unlikable. I hated what he said about Jerks and Profile last year. I thought that was so inappropriate. And then Max Muncy, who's just bothersome. What about for you?
Well, it's very hard because I have more than just 3. I probably could give you a top 10 list of most hated Dodgers for me personally. I'll throw a name out there that was never a part of this Padres-Dodgers rivalry, but he's just very hateable. Andre Ethier. I hate it. I hate Andre Ethier.
So you're going back.
I'm going back a little bit.
Okay.
If I continue back in the day, Eric Gagne. Did not like Eric Gagne.
Oh, see, I would change my list if we were, because I even probably would have had like Gratterall on my list, but I went to the now.
Okay. If we're talking about now, because I was talking about like just overall like in my lifetime.
Gotcha.
When I could like really understand the game.
I got one for, but go on.
What do you got?
It's from the chat. He's got to be on but again, it's recent history. Joe Kelly.
Oh, for sure.
Joe Kelly is right there at the top.
Yes, smug, just
blowing kisses and stuff.
Oh yes, douchebag. Ohtani for right now is on that list for me, even though he's only been with the team a year plus.
Yeah.
Obviously Max Muncy, Brusdar Gratterall. I'm just naming off their entire roster.
Right.
Dave Roberts is very hateable.
Right.
As a Dodgers manager. Yeah, those are.
Wow, look at that lineup.
You know another Dodger player that I hate or hated? Matt Kemp. Because
Matt Kemp.
He came here in a Padres uniform, and everyone hated Matt Kemp in a Padres uniform, including myself. Guy was a total D-bag. And he played his best baseball with the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Hate Matt Kemp.
There's so many.
Oh my gosh. I never liked Kershaw, but I do respect Kershaw.
That's more me with honestly, that's more me with like Freddie Freeman.
Yeah, I don't like Freddie Freeman because he's in a Dodgers uniform, but I respect Freddie Freeman.
That's what I'm saying, honestly. So like, I can't say I hate each and every individual piece. Like even like
Justin Turner did not. I don't like Justin Turner.
But like Mookie Betts doing his cute little podcast, like I don't know. I didn't like the whole podcast thing, but I don't dislike Betts as much as I dislike Will Smith or I dislike Max Muncy.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, I agree.
Kike
Hernandez.
Yeah,
he's another one right there.
Yeah, no doubt.
Hit that big home run.
I was gonna say just because of this like playoffs. Yeah,
mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
How do we go down this path? Oh, Muncie to the IL.
Muncie's to the IL.
Quad strain.
I'm just thinking of like old Dodgers. Like I didn't grow up in the 80s, so I can't say I hate Oral Hershiser, even though I don't like Oral Hershiser on the broadcast. So I guess technically I can put him in the category.
Right.
Because Oral Hershiser on the broadcast is an awful listen.
I don't listen.
I mean, Mud as a color just runs circles around Oral.
See,
it's not even close. Like it's not even close.
The thing is, like, if I'm going to be honest with like the other local broadcast teams, I have no concept anymore because I watch the Padres every game. I'm not sitting around watching local broadcasts of the Dodgers.
Rich brings up a great hateable Dodger.
Okay.
Chase Utley.
Yes, in a Dodger uniform.
In a Dodgers
very
uniform.
much so.
Hate Chase Utley.
I mean, I didn't like freaking Cody Bellinger, to be honest with you. Did anyone like Cody Bellinger when he went over the wall in Texas? I didn't like that. And then that was the Gratterall reaction, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So, I didn't like Cody Bellinger.
Alex Vesia has a good name.
Yeah, he is.
Just reading off some of the names in the chat.
Was Vesia though on the mound in 2022 against Gratterall?
Yeah, he was, yeah. But I think for most Padres fans right now, Muncie would come to the top of their list pretty quickly. Like you wouldn't get far before someone mentions Max Muncy.
I mean, where's Blake Snell on this list right now? In the Dodgers uniform.
Well, he hasn't inserted himself into the rivalry yet.
Agreed.
But if you're just talking about like Dodgers of the past, when the Padres and Dodgers, the rivalry wasn't there. Yasiel Puig.
Yeah, to me, it's more of a today conversation because I feel like today both of the teams are good. Mm-hmm. And by today, I mean like the last few years.
Yeah.
It's not as much, okay, they were unlikable because, well, we weren't good and they were good.
Mm-hmm.
But I get it. I get that too. I respect all of these opinions. I'm just looking right now at this.
Blake Trinan has a very punchable face. His mustache or beard combo, whatever he's trying to do with his facial hair, it makes me want to punch him. Like I look at that face and I'm like, I want to punch your face.
You know who I would have put on that list in June is Andy Paz, because all he did was rake.
I want to punch Andy Paz in the face. He's a very punchable face.
So there's some names
you can name off pretty much any Dodger, and I would tell you that their face very punchable. Right?
Yeah, I'm just looking at the roster right now to see who's on the active roster.
Like I can't be like, oh no, I like that Dodger player. No, I want to punch you in the face. That face, it doesn't look good. You're ugly.
I mean, yeah, it's a real rivalry. I love when it's like downplayed on what. Well, you guys make more of it than we do. Okay, until tonight, right, on social media.
Someone asked, have I ever punched someone in the face before? I actually have.
I think you've told us that story. Was it like third grade or something?
Wow, good memory.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Who'd you punch in the face in third grade?
I forget his name, but
he's online too.
No, great. He was making fun of me.
For what?
I don't remember.
He's like, Jim, you're an idiot.
Probably. And I like chased him down, and we're like in like the field of like the school. So like at the playground, and there's like a field area.
Right.
And I chased him down, and I like tackled him, and I got on top of him, and I just punched him in the face. Like I punched him in the side of the face, like the head area.
Did you go to jail?
And then he immediately starts crying. And
because you shouldn't be punching people in the face.
And you know what I do? I go, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, because I didn't want to get in trouble for it, because I heard like a teacher scream when they saw me punch this kid in the face. I actually got in school suspended.
You should have.
But he's making fun of me. I don't like bullies.
Chat says that doesn't count. They mean as an adult.
Oh, as an adult? No, I'm very soft as an adult.
Well, you punch someone as an adult, you end up in jail. It's like an assault charge.
Not always.
Depends.
You can
it'd be self-defense.
Manny McNuggets, Jim ran elementary school.
I did.
Went through you, man.
I did. I was the enforcer. I was the bully on the campus.
Don't mess down in that school without the approval of the gym rats.
Yeah, exactly. The gym rats, 100%.
You know what pisses me off?
That's my gang name.
You know what's pissing me off right now is no Mike Shildt audio.
Well, of course, it's going to come at 6:01 because 7:10 first pitch.
Yeah, but shouldn't we still have the? He's obviously spoke with the media.
He's been slacking this week. This is twice he's done that now this week.
I have an idea, John. I got an idea. Yeah? Let's go to social media, because social media puts up everything. All right.
And see if you can find it.
And see if I can find Mike Shildt, okay?
I'm sure there's
7 different accounts that has posted Mike Shildt already.
Well, I haven't been looking. I don't see it. Do you see it?
Let me see. I don't see it yet. No.
That's what I'm saying.
We can play some Michael King sound. talking about his left knee inflammation going on the IL, even though we've already said what he said.
No, we're going to do the back page next, or we're going to hear from Mike Shildt. I think I have Mike Shildt pregame sound. Sound. This is like me getting the Lucky Box Tatis card.
Breaking news, Mike Shildt
I think
sound.
I got Mike Shildt pregame sound.
I think we have Mike Shildt sound.
Next. We're here until 6. Don't go anywhere. It's Jon and Jim. All right, in a few moments, we will hear from Mike Shildt from the Padres dugout inside Dodger Stadium. Padres Dodgers coming up. Jon and Jim. San Diego Sports 760. Brent, where does this start? Do we have the question in there? We do not. So let's see
how he feels coming into the series, the way they're playing.
All right, let's hear.
Yeah, I mean, it feels good. I mean, listen, the only day the standings ultimately matters is the last day of the season. But we played good baseball. We feel good about where we're at. Excited to play tonight.
Yeah. As far as the teams that you've been beating, the pitchers that you've been beating, it's been a pretty nice run beating Giolitos and Bayos and Webbs and Rays, those type of guys. It's kind of pretty tough. You guys have really done a great job with the offense, grinding out some of the bats.
We really have. One thing we're being really intentional about is always being better as the game goes. Seeing and trying to strike early, and then if it doesn't happen early, which it has happened early, but just adding on and just taking rolling with the bats, the whole time throughout the whole game, and it's a deeper lineup. We've been able to do that pretty consistently.
I know there's a lot of emotion, excitement coming into this series, but I think the order of the day for you guys is just keep doing what you've been doing and stick to the daily plan.
Yeah, I know. It's just about playing baseball. It's about playing what the game, as Toddy says, do what the game calls for. Go out, compete, enjoy ourselves, and just go play good, solid, fundamental baseball.
Yeah, there was a little bit extracurricular, some acrimony between the two teams last time we were here. Is any of that festering in the background, or is it sort of a clean slate?
I can't speak for anybody else, but I'm just here to play baseball.
Yeah. Michael King's knee, what can you tell us about that situation? He gave us a little bit of a rundown, but what's your take on it?
Yeah, I'm sure Michael explained it, but, to reiterate, dealing with some soreness, had some fluid, got the fluid drained, feels better, got every, the imaging taking place, and nothing overly structural is a concern, which is obviously great. But it's going to require some time. It's one of those things that he could have pitched today, but he would have had to continue to pitch with some pain, and it's just not a recipe for, short and longer term success. So want to make sure he gets it behind him, and we think that's going to happen, and look to see him pitch in Seattle, hopefully.
Anyone else?
Have you talked to Dave? A lot of emotions. There's emotions every time you guys play the Dodgers. But do you think that's in the past, or do you think it's just something now?
I just think we're going to show up and play baseball. It's a game of baseball. I don't, there's emotions because it's competition and people are human. So that's always going to be the case. But I haven't really thought twice about it, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I have. I've thought a lot about it.
Okay, Shildt.
He didn't say if he's spoken with Dave Roberts. Dave Roberts was quoted by, who'd you talk about earlier? Fabian Ardaya.
Yep.
As saying that they haven't spoken.
Well, they're not going to speak. They don't like each other.
I know, but they could text.
They're not going to text. That's even worse.
They could go on a podcast.
This team loves going on podcasts with each other.
Why doesn't Betts sit in the middle, Shildt on one side, Roberts on the other?
I swear to God. If there's a Mookie Betts podcast in the next week with a Padres player on it, I'm going to lose my S.
Dude,
Sunday after the game,
I died on that hill forever. Now you did agree with me.
I did.
But you've gotten even stronger on that take because initially
things have happened.
I'm like, it's Padres Dodgers. You can't sell me on this. They played in the postseason 3 last 5 years. We're going on podcast together.
We're not doing this.
I agree.
No more podcasts ever again.
Don't you feel like that conversation's been had with Betts and it's representatives? Like, dude, you can't have Padres on your podcast.
I hope that conversation's been happening with Padres players. Jackson Merrill, what are we doing?
He went on this year. Tatis went on his podcast the day after the Padres recorded a triple play to clinch a playoff spot last year.
If they did this on the off day yesterday, I'm gonna be so mad.
Oh, there was the off day.
I'm gonna be so mad, and I will rip that Padres player if they were on the podcast, whoever it is.
So you're just gonna rip into Machado like that?
100%. Any player
rip into Shildt.
100%. Shilt's on that podcast.
The most boring podcast ever.
It would be. It might have been interesting, but probably not. Most likely not.
Are you ready for tonight?
Are you ready for tonight?
Are you ready for some baseball?
Are you ready for some
Friday
baseball?
night party?
Are you ready for a Friday night party?
Yes, I am. I can't wait to settle in. I can't wait to get home.
I'm alone all weekend.
I know. Aaron's back east.
Yeah.
I'm out west. Now, here's the issue. You got everything you need. You got no one at home. You got a dog, and you can turn the game on. You can heat up some food. You can do whatever you want. I've got the delicate balance of wife, 6-year-old. He needs to go to bed, 7:10 start. I'm reading books. I got MLB.TV on my phone. He's asking me about Berenstein Bears, and I'm talking about Max Muncy on the IL.
Sucks for you.
It kind of does. He goes to sleep at 7. So, the top of the first inning is
these next 3 nights. So, because Aaron's gone for the next 5 days. She just got into Philadelphia or Jersey, Philly, whatever.
Same thing.
Well, she flew into Philly and they drove to Jersey. But anyway.
Right. That's how it, that makes sense.
Yeah.
They didn't take a boat.
No, they didn't take a boat.
Did she fly east or west to Philadelphia?
She followed the sun, the North Star.
She went the long way.
She went to the East Coast in the East. She traveled east, John.
Okay, yeah, okay.
But yeah, I got the next 5 nights alone.
That sucks.
Oh no.
Sucks.
No, I love my wife. She's the best.
It is such a weird dichotomy. It's like you spend every day with your significant other, and then when they're not there, you're like, what do I even do? We're so habitual.
The one thing that I was hoping for this weekend is there would be like a card show or something that I could like distract myself with and go to. We're going to the card show next weekend.
Next weekend. Save your money.
I know.
And this is all Padres Dodgers. Now, so is next weekend.
Yes, but the games are at night, so we won't miss anything.
Yeah, what time is that Padres game back at home at Petco next Saturday?
I was thinking about that. Is it 5:40? It's got to be 5:40.
I'm assuming it is, but
please don't be 4 o'clock.
Oh, it's 11 a.m. No, I'm kidding. It's 5:40. Okay, 5:40. So 6:40, 5:40, 1:10.
Yeah.
Next weekend. This weekend,
we'll be fine.
7:10, 6:10, 1:10.
Yeah.
For the 3 games.
Yeah. So I'm going to be doing a bunch of nothing but sitting on my couch and watching Padres baseball, playing the Dodgers, and
all weekend in general.
Well, when they play, that's what I'm doing.
But I'm saying, will you do anything this weekend? Or are you just going to hunker down?
It depends. I got to do some things around the house. I got to, obviously my laundry. There's some things I want to clean for Erin before she gets back. Other than that, take Bentley on a walk or 2.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's a good plan.
Feed them. Right.
Right. You should do that.
Feed myself.
Yeah.
I might go grocery shopping. So the groceries are all taken care of when Erin gets back. That'd be a good,
it'd be a
good husband thing.
Yeah.
To do. All right. Have a clean house and groceries in the refrigerator.
Your house isn't that big though, so you should be able to clean it in about 32 minutes.
No, it's fine. It's not big at all.
See, the way I am when Kristen's away is I put off cleaning everything. I leave it basically a mess. Because my theory is if I keep cleaning it, I'm wasting time by keeping cleaning it.
That's what. So I left the house today, and every day I leave the house, I always I make the bed because I'm the last one out of it. I make sure that
when Erin's there, you're saying.
I make sure that the bedroom's clean. I make sure that the dishes are done. To make sure that the house is it looks presentable when she gets home. Okay. Today, dishes weren't done.
Yeah.
Bed
exactly.
Not made.
Well, but she's not there. Right.
It's not put
away.
away.
So funny how we are.
Pillow still on the floor.
I know, dude.
Socks still on the floor.
But as long
that's
as
my
it's
house
good,
for the last 8 years.
But as long as it's clean when she gets home,
100%.
It's all good. And Chris will be like, "Thank you so much for keeping the house so clean." I'm like, "I didn't until right now."
Yeah. Bathrooms, it's seat still up.
Yeah.
Not towel on the ground.
I'm not a towel on the ground guy.
No, I pick up my towels.
Yeah.
But maybe my clothes might be on the ground still. I don't remember.
Live a little.
Yeah.
By the way,
toilet paper on the roll.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
By the way,
later.
This Brewers team has come all the way back from 8-1 down.
Of course they have.
To lead.
Of course.
In Cincinnati tonight, 9-8 in the 6th inning. Everyone listening, though, is more concerned about what's coming up tonight. Padres and Dodgers game 1 of this series. Clayton Kershaw and Wandy Peralta. Just like you expected. Kershaw, Peralta tonight. Michael King on the IL. If there's some good news in today, we knew this would happen. They said that hopefully King avoided the worst and it was precautionary and he could have pitched today and he's aiming to pitch in 15 days when the Padres are in Seattle. So that is very good news. If Michael King is in fact in 15 days when the Padres are in Seattle, if Michael King is back.
I hope so because, it'd be nice to see this team at full strength for an extended period of time going into the postseason. We talked about it last Friday, finally full squad.
For 2 innings.
Exactly. And that was it.
Yeah, they had their full rotation this year for Michael King's last start, which lasted 2 innings, and then he was placed on the IL. Hey, if you're going to get healthy, do it in September. If you're going to be healthy, do it in September and October. So hopefully Michael King gets back in the next 15 days, and hopefully the Padres can stay healthy.
Yep.
In September, tonight, we have a wrap-up show for you following Padres and Dodgers. Get to YouTube tonight. We will have that wrap-up show for you tonight, full reaction, and there will be reaction. No matter what happens, there will be a reaction tonight.
Oh, yeah.
On the wrap-up show.
Yeah.
I promise you that. If you missed anything today, go to sportssd.com or the iHeartRadio app or iTunes or TuneIn Radio or Spotify. If you're listening to us on a podcast platform, please leave a review. We will be back Monday at 2 p.m. There'll be some reaction Monday. I promise you that as well at 2 p.m. For Brent and Jim, I'm John. Have a great weekend. Enjoy this weekend of baseball. And this is San Diego Sports 760.
Okay.
Bye-bye.